Alright, just getting all the live streams going. Start in a minute. All right, excellent. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. I'm Jared with Scamware 101. If it's your first time joining, say hi in the chat. Let us know you're watching. Hit that thumbs up. Give us a like. We want to hear from you. And part of what we do here at Scamware 101, our mission is to spread awareness of common scams that target individuals like you, your friends, your family, your loved ones. These are the type of scams that target regular, ordinary people, everyday people. They get targeted over the phone, text messages, phone calls, get targeted through email, scam emails and phishing emails. They even get targeted through regular traditional mail, snail mail. So scammers haven't given up on that yet. So we're about ready to go over 20 different types of common scams to be aware of. And we're going to go over some red flags to help you identify these scams and prevent yourself from becoming a victim. And we're going to show you real examples of these scams. We're going to show you screenshots of email scams. We're going to play you some recordings of some phone call and robocall scams. We're going to show you some screenshots of text message scams. We're even going to share some snail mail scams with you, real letters that are circulating. It's all important stuff to be aware of. We'll get started in a couple minutes here. About 3 minutes, we're going to kick this off, and we'll start going over some common scams. In the meantime, hit that like button, say hi in the chat, let us know you're watching. We're streaming live here on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So I'm mainly monitoring the YouTube chats, but I'm also checking in on the Instagram and Facebook too. So I will be answering. So share your stories in the chat. Tell me what scams you want to hear about, which scams you're being targeted with. I want to hear from you. And even though we have an agenda to go over here, which you can see on the screen here for the next 2 hours, it's flexible, right? So if you want to hear about a certain scam, let me know in the chat. If you have a question, we'll take a pause for a few minutes and we'll talk about your question. So nothing's in stone here as far as the scheduling goes on the weekly live stream here, which, by the way, we do this every week, every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. This is one of the many ways that we spread awareness of scams. You can also find our YouTube channel where we share a whole bunch of scam awareness videos there. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. We've started about 2 minutes here. 2 minutes to go. Again, say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Hit that thumbs up. Give us some reactions. I want to hear from you. And while you're here, don't forget to join the free mailing list. It's on scamaware101.com. It's free to join. We'll send you some scam awareness tips, some reminders about when we're going live. All useful stuff. To get started in about a minute and a half here. Lots of good stuff coming up this evening. We usually stream for at least 3 hours, so we have lots of good stuff coming up, lots of examples of scams to share with you. So plenty of time to share this live stream, invite some friends. If you're watching on Facebook, go share it on your timeline real quick, send it in a message to some friends. Get some more people in here, especially if you know people that are always getting scammed. All right. All the scams we're going to go over, they're all common scams that are actively circulating. Most of the examples are less than a year old. And scam season is coming. It's coming. It's the last couple months of the year is always scam season with the holidays. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit too. We'll get started in about 1 minute here. 1 minute to go. Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. Leave a comment over on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, say hi. Or on Instagram. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're watching. Let me know what you want to talk about, what you want to hear about. Get started in about 1 minute. Make sure to hit that like button, follow, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. I'm not really paying attention to the viewer count, so the only way I really know you're watching is if you say something in the chats. Hey Dave, good to see you. Welcome back. Got the #1 fan over there. Says it right next to your name in the chat. #1. And I agree. All right, 5:50. We're going to get started here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Jared with Scamware 101. And our mission here is to spread awareness of common scams that target individuals, just like you, your friends, your family. And one of the ways we do that is this weekly live stream. Every Thursday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time, we do a weekly live stream. We usually go for about 3 or 4 hours. And we discuss over 20 different common scams that are currently circulating and important to be aware of. We go over red flags to help you identify and prevent these scams. And we're going to share real examples of these scams. Screenshots of emails, text messages, recordings of phone calls. Going to show you some snail mail scams, letters that are still circulating, delivered directly to your mailbox. All important to be aware of. And these scams target everybody. It's a common misconception. People think that's just the older folks that are getting scammed, but that's not true. It's the younger folks too. In fact, the FTC, in their latest report earlier this year about scams and fraud, it actually turns out that the younger folks are getting scammed more than the older folks. It's just the older folks are losing more money. They have more money saved away for retirement or whatever, and they're losing more money. But the younger folks are actually falling for more scams. So really, the whole point of that is age doesn't matter. Everybody needs to be aware of these scams. Everybody's falling for these scams. And not just for yourself, but to protect your friends, your family members, your loved ones. Right? These scammers, they do this for a living. You're up against an army of scammers. So it's important as a community to make sure your friends, family, neighbors, they're aware of these scams. So let's dive into it. Let's talk about some, before we dive into it, which we will in a minute. Hey, listen, help support what we're doing here. We're trying to put something good out there. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button. It all helps. Right? You can join our free mailing list on scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. We'll send you scam awareness tips, reminders about when we're going live. You can unsubscribe at any time. Follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. We're streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. But we're also on Blue Sky, X, and Threads, if you want to follow us there. We're most active on Facebook and YouTube, though. So definitely follow us, like and follow us there. And if you want to help out financially, we'll take donations too. Scamaware101.com/donate. Or you could scan the code on your screen. And over on YouTube, we have Super Thanks enabled and memberships enabled too. So if you want to help out that one. And then finally, before we start diving into some of these examples here, you can check out our gift shop/merch store, where you get some cool merchandise and products like these Scamware 101 travel mugs. We got some coffee mugs and water bottles and mouse pads too. They all help support our mission here. So anything is appreciated. Now, with that said, let's get into some common scams that are important to be aware of. Remember, hit the like button. Let me know in the chat if you've encountered these scams too. I want to hear from your perspective. If you've been contacted about these scams, if the scams are about ready to talk about, if you know someone that's fallen for and been targeted by them. Again, all these scams are active, currently circulating, important to be aware of, and everybody's a target. So the first one we're going to talk about is arrest warrant scams. This is when a victim is contacted by a scammer impersonating law enforcement. The scammer claims an arrest warrant was issued and fines must be paid to resolve it. The scammer then threatens the victim with arrest if fines aren't paid immediately. And sometimes the scammer will say an arrest warrant is being issued because you missed jury duty. All right, so sometimes this gets referred to as a jury duty scam as well as an arrest warrant scam. And in most cases, these scammers will reach out to the victim by phone. They'll actually call them up over the phone. And an important detail to be aware of is a lot of times the caller ID will actually show the phone number and name of the sheriff's office or a local police department, even though it's a scammer, because scammers can manipulate caller ID. It's very important to acknowledge that, realize that, and always keep that in mind. Just because the caller ID says it's the local sheriff that's calling or the local police department that's calling, that doesn't mean it really is. You always have to hang up, no matter who they claim to be. You always have to tell them, hey, let me hang up and call you back. Right, and then reach out through official channels to verify. And that's the same thing for this type of arrest warrant scam. These scammers, they'll call you up over the phone. They'll impersonate the local sheriff's office. They'll threaten you. They'll try to scare you. They'll tell you, we're going to send a deputy over there right now to arrest you if you don't make a payment immediately. And it can be a scary situation. So you need to pause for a second. Think to yourself, wait a minute. I know that these are common scam. You're like, okay, which organization are you with? You're with this sheriff's office, okay? I'll get back to you. Hang up. And if you're concerned that's real, reach out directly to that sheriff's office. Don't call back the number that they tell you to. Whoever this scammer or caller is, you can't trust what they tell you. Whatever number they tell you to call, you can't trust it. Right? You have to actually look up what the official phone number is for sheriff's office. Call them directly if you're concerned that it's real. But most of the time it's not. It's not, because isn't it how arrest warrants get handled? You know, local sheriff's department doesn't call you over the phone and start threatening you. That's not how they handle arrest warrants. So be aware of this type of scam. It could be a scary situation, right? They tell you missed jury duty, or they'll say that they'll say something like your car was involved in a crime a couple of years ago, or something strange like that. The story makes no sense. It's not true, right? But the idea is they want to scare you. So be aware of that scam. We have a video about this scam on our YouTube channel, so you go check that out for more information. And one other detail about this scam too is that these arrest warrant scammers, they've been known to provide fake paperwork. So keep that in mind too. Just because they're going to email you over a arrest warrant, that doesn't mean you could trust it. Right? You actually got to contact the official, through official channels, whatever organization they're claiming to be from. So check out that clip we have on our YouTube channel. We even included a few clips of press conferences from local sheriff's offices warning about this scam. We included clips of that on our arrest warrant scam video. So check that out on our YouTube channel, and be aware, right? If you get a call like this out of blue, claiming that's a sheriff or local police department, threatening you with arrest, telling you got to pay immediately, be suspicious. Be aware that this is a common scam, and they could be targeting you. Arrest warrant scams or jury duty scams? Let me know in the chat or the comments if you've ever been targeted by that type of scam, or you know someone who has. They're circulating now. They're getting a lot of media attention right now, arrest warrant scams, because what it comes down to is the scammers are impersonating law enforcement, right? So law enforcement does not like that, and there's been a lot of warnings coming out from law enforcement about these scammers who are impersonating them, trying to scare innocent people. All right, if you're just joining us a little late, welcome to the live stream. We're going to be going for a couple hours this evening, so hit that like button, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, share this live stream with your friends, share it on your timelines. If you're watching over on Facebook, want to get the word out there. Let's get some more people into the live stream and get the information out there. Spread the word about these scams that are targeting individuals. The reason why we do this, Scamware 101, is, there's a lot of resources out there for business when for protecting themselves when it comes to employee training and making sure the company is protected. There's a lot of resources out there. And I spent almost 30 years in the IT and tech business. And, I saw how it evolved over the years, and companies start protecting themselves more and more, and they realize the threat of these scams. But at the same time, I've seen individuals, just regular people, that are getting targeted with scams, and they don't have the same resources or the same training available. So, no one's out there looking out for grandma who's getting scammed out of a retirement fund, right? So there's all sorts of scams targeting individuals, arrest warrant scams. You're not getting trained about these type of scams for business, business employee training. So that's what makes us a little different here at Scamware 101. We're focusing on scams that target individuals. And sure, some of them may also target business, but at the core, all these scams, they target individuals as well. And it's important to be aware of these. And sadly, the scammers are winning. They are winning. So awareness is key. And another point to keep in mind about why it's so important to be aware of these types of scams is because once you lose the money, once you're scammed and tricked into transferring your money to these scammers, very rarely will you get it back. Sadly, most victims don't recover their funds. So awareness is key. It's how you stop money from being transferred to these scammers in the first place. And I'll mention that more and more throughout the live stream this evening as we continue to cover these different types of scams. So let's jump into our next scam that we're going to talk about here. Bank impersonation scams. So this is another example of a scam where we know the scammers are modifying caller ID. They're spoofing the number shown, and they make themselves appear like they're the bank calling. So basically, scammers impersonate the bank, usually claiming suspicious activity was detected under a victim's account. Victims are then tricked into withdrawing and transferring funds to the scammers who are impersonating the bank. And the caller ID might even display the bank's phone number, even though it's a scammer. And we know this is happening. We know that these scammers are calling victims up and they're saying, hey, this is so-and-so from TD Bank, right? And the caller ID will show TD Bank's phone number. And the victim will think, okay, I can trust this caller. You know, caller ID says it's the bank, so it must really be the bank. And they think they could trust it, but they can't because of caller ID. So sadly, you hear these victim stories, and a lot of times they say, hey, my caller ID said it was the bank, so I thought I could trust it. So it's very important to be aware that caller ID could be manipulated by the scammers. And these, and Dave mentions in the chat too, also there are scams of people claiming that they could recover the money you lost. That's true. That's very true as well. We talk about most of these victims, they're unable to recover their funds once they're gone. And what happens is they actually get targeted now with a follow-up scam. The scammers will reach out to them again. They'll say, hey, we heard about that you were scammed. We could help you recover those funds. You just have to pay us. And they get scammed again. The funds never get recovered. All right, so you got Kevin over in the chat. Welcome, Kevin. Lakeland, Florida. Nice. I'm over in Florida, too. Good to hear. Welcome to the live stream. Glad to have you. Let me know if any of the scams we talk about, if you've been encountering them or know somebody that has. We're going to go over about 20 different types of scams this evening. All good stuff to be aware of. All scams that are actively circulating here. But, yeah, let's continue talking about these bank impersonation scams, right? So these scammers, they'll call up the victim, and we're going to mainly talk about the phone version of this. But we're being targeted, whether it's an email that claims to be from the bank, a text message that claims to be from the bank, a phone call where a person claims to be your bank. This is a very common scam, and they're targeting victims through all different methods. And basically, when scammers impersonate the bank, they'll claim that there was suspicious activity most of the time. And they get the victim on the phone, and they say, okay, well, you have to move your money. It's not safe. There's suspicious activity. And the victim thinks they could trust it. They don't realize they're moving the money to the scammer. And I have an example here to share with you. So this text message right here. This is a text message scam that's impersonating the bank. It says, verified TD Bank card activity. Did you attempt a transaction for $250 at Walgreens? Reply yes if recognized or no if not. It is a very common scam. Right? What they're doing is they're impersonating a transaction warning. Right? That sometimes you'll get, maybe you're using your card out of state and you'll get a legit warning from the bank saying, hey, is this really you? These are what the scammers are doing. They're sending out text messages to the victims and trying to make them think there's some kind of suspicious activity. And there's a interesting story that comes along with this example here. So this text message that was provided to me, this example here, the person who provided it actually received a phone call right before receiving it. They got their phone rang. It showed TD Bank on the caller ID, right? So there's the example of these scammers, showing the bank's phone number on caller ID. She didn't answer the phone, and after she didn't answer the phone, she gets this text message immediately after. So these scammers are persistent. You have to keep that in mind. You should never think to yourself, oh, a scammer wouldn't go through all this. Yeah, they would. They have no problem calling and then sending a text, and they'll follow up again later trying to get you. This is what they do all day. This is their job. All right. So a couple red flags about this text message that you could tell it's a scam. First red flag is that it came from an actual phone number instead of one of those short code numbers. Sometimes you get a text message only from like a 5-digit number instead of a full phone number. All right. And in most cases, when it's coming from the bank, it's going to come from one of those special short code numbers. Right. So that was red flag number 1. It actually came from a real phone number. All right. Then red flag number 2 was it didn't indicate the account they were referencing. If this had really been a message from the bank, it would have said something like the last 4 digits of your account. It would have indicated what account it was talking about. So that was red flag number 2. And red flag number 3 is the capitalization is a little off, right? So the C in card is capitalized, the T in transaction is capitalized, the R in reply is, there's no punctuation, like there's no period after, it's just, things are a little off. And that's a red flag. Sadly, because of AI, scammers are now using AI, we're going to be able to rely on that less. There's going to be less misspellings, less capitalization mistakes, because AI is going to do it all for them. But for now, or at least in this example, when you do see something off with capitalization or grammar, it's an indication it's a scam. Right. So anyway, again, we're talking about bank impersonation scams right now. We know that they're calling over the phone. They claim to be from your bank. Your caller ID will show the bank's phone number. Can't trust it. You got to hang up and you got to call your bank directly if you're concerned that something's going on. And one more example here in regards to this bank scam. We have this news article from about a year ago, right? And it was a Connecticut woman. She fell for this bank scam, and in her case, it was Wells Fargo scam. And this is an older woman, right? I don't think it says her name, but you can see her picture here. This is an older woman, so it's a younger woman who fell for this scam. In fact, most of the victim stories we have, a lot of them are for younger folks. So don't get cocky because you're younger, right? These scammers are very convincing. It's not just the older folks getting scammed. So it says basically this Connecticut woman had no idea that when she answered the phone, she'd end up crying in a Wells Fargo parking lot. She said she did everything they said to do, and they drained her bank account. And she said her trouble began when she saw a familiar phone number on her caller ID. She says she got a phone call from Wells Fargo saying that I had a fraudulent activity on my account and that a random person was being sent money from Zelle. Right? So she got a phone call. The caller ID said Wells Fargo, but it wasn't Wells Fargo. It's a scammer. All right. And also, Zelle is a red flag. The person on the phone mentioned Zelle, and that's always a red flag. We know that scammers prefer being paid in Zelle. And in this woman's case, they told her she needed to secure her Zelle account by sending money that would return to her account automatically. But it didn't return. She actually sent it to a scammer. So you need to be careful about these bank impersonation scams. Any communication claiming to be from your bank, you need to verify it. You need to verify it, and just because the person who's on the phone knows things about you doesn't mean you can trust it either. The scammers know things. We'll talk about that more later. So that's bank impersonation scams. Watch out for them. Extremely common right now, being targeted from all angles. How y'all doing out there? Let me know you're watching. We're streaming live over on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. So say hi in the comments, say hi in the chat. I want to hear your stories, your questions. We got 2 different live streams going on YouTube with a vertical live stream and a wide one. So whichever you prefer. And if you're just joining in, I'm Jared with Scamware 101. We do this live stream every week to spread awareness of common scams. You can join our free mailing list. It's on scamaware101.com, so check that out. It's free to join. You can unsubscribe at any time, and we'll send you some scam awareness tips, some reminders when we're going live. All useful things. You can follow us on your favorite social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, Blue Sky X. We're on them all. We're most active on Facebook and YouTube, though. And we have super thanks enabled and memberships enabled over here on YouTube. So if you want to help out financially, we'll take a super thanks and a membership too. We always appreciate it. Hey, but even if you just hit that like button, subscribe and follow, that helps too. Help us spread awareness about these scams. All right. Y'all being a little quiet tonight, but that's okay. It usually picks up in a little bit. Next scam we're going to talk about here, tech support scams. Now this one, I know I've said a bunch of times, it's not just the old folks falling for the scams, but in this case, the victims do tend to be the older folks. So if you're one of the older folks or you have an older family member, make sure they're aware of this scam, these tech support scams. And basically how these work is victims receive a fake virus alert on their device, and it tricks them into calling a fake support phone number. And the victim doesn't realize it. They think they're calling Microsoft or antivirus software provider like McAfee. They think they're calling them for help with the virus, but they're actually calling the scammer. And the thing that's tricky about this type of scam is everybody's susceptible. Everybody's vulnerable to this type of scam because it doesn't matter what device you're on. As long as you're browsing the internet, whether you're on your iPhone or if you're on your Windows computer or your MacBook, it doesn't make a difference. If you're browsing the internet, you get one of these fake pop-ups where it says, hey, you're infected with the virus. It says to call this number. And it could be scary too. I'm going to show you some examples of these fake virus alerts that you might get. I'm going to share a few examples with you right now. But it could be a scary situation if you're not familiar with it, or you're not really computer savvy. You get one of these scary pop-ups. They make them flash at you. Sometimes they have a sound that blasts out of your speakers on loop where it says, "You've been infected with a virus. You've been infected with a virus." And it's like, call this number. They get pretty obnoxious with it. So it's important to be aware of this type of scam. Make sure your loved ones are aware of this type of scam. And let me show you some of these fake pop-ups. Also, we did a video about this scam too. So any of the examples we're going to share right now, we also share in that video too. So you can go check out that video later or share it with a loved one too. But here's the first example of a fake virus alert. And you could tell in the background that's actually a website. So you can see like there's a browser in the background. You could tell it's a website. But if you're not familiar with this or you don't realize it's a trick, I mean, this just looks like a McAfee pop-up. It has the logo, it has the color theme. It can be pretty convincing. And as somebody who, for example, has McAfee, right, they might get this pop-up and think, oh, I better call. This is my antivirus software. But here's the thing. Any virus alert that you get, any pop-up like this that says to call a number, you can't trust it because a real virus alert won't have a number to call. All right, so that's the giveaway. If you see a phone number to call on one of these virus alerts, it's a scam. You know it's a scam. Don't call a number. It's a trick. And the thing is, if you call this number, what's going to happen is you're actually calling a scammer, right? And they're going to ask to connect your device. And once they're on your device, it's not good. We're going to talk about that more later. But once they're on their device, they can steal your passwords. They can try to get in your bank accounts. They can do all these pretty malicious things. So let me show you another example of a fake virus alert. Here's one that impersonates Norton by Symantec. Big scary letters, threat detected. Hit system hard drive may fail. Right? It has all these scary things that are going to happen. And what's interesting is in this specific alert, if you click these buttons like go or apply all, none of them will work. Right? The pop-up's designed to not work. And then it says system critically infected. If you're not able to click on this button, contact support. And then it has a phone number to call. So they had that little trick in there where the person might be trying to click the button and then they read it and says, oh, if it doesn't work, the call. But it's all part of the scam. If you get a virus alert that has a phone number, don't trust it. It's a scam. And Dave mentions here in the chat, one of the reasons scammers usually ask for a person's age is because older people usually have more money, either in savings or investments. And that's true. And that goes along with that statistic we mentioned earlier about, older folks aren't necessarily getting scammed more than younger folks, but they're losing more because they have more to lose. And the scammers know this, and they're targeting them. Not just because they're older, but because they have more money. So, yep, good point, Dave. And more reason that the older folks, they need to be more aware because they have more to lose, right? And the scammers know this and are targeting them. So, but yeah, this virus alert right here, it's fake. It's got a phone number to call. That's how you know it's fake. So you get a pop-up like this, don't trust it. It's a scam. Let's look at another one. Windows Defender, security warning. Access to this device has been blocked for security reasons. And it says contact Windows support. There's a phone number to call. But it's a scam. You call that number, you connect to a scammer. And you see how they make these pop-ups look realistic. It's got the Microsoft logo, the colors. Right? It looks pretty convincing. Capitalization is off at the top here, though. See the S? It's got a capital S all the way at the top. So that's a little indicator it's a bit of a scam, too. But yeah, you get these virus alerts. You can't trust them. If they have a phone number to call, it's a scam. Anybody ever see these pop-ups when they're browsing the internet? I'd see them all the time. Different variations of them. Now, I mentioned this type of tech support scam. Everybody's susceptible to it. It doesn't matter if you're on your iPhone, MacBook, or whatever, right? So here's some examples of these fake virus alerts that they're targeting Mac users. Right, so here's one that has a Safari logo, big scary red letters, virus found, right? Your Mac computer has 13 infections. It's got, please call tech support as soon as possible. But it's a scam. You call that number, you connect this scammer. Now, if these fake virus alerts have if the virus alert has a phone number, that's how you know it's a scam. One of the big giveaways there. Here's another one. Got the Apple logo. Warning, macOS is infected with viruses and other malicious applications. Please call Apple support. But that's not Apple support's phone number. If you call, you get connected to a scammer. Because you need to realize these scammers, they're sitting in a call center. There's a call center just full of these scammers, and their job is just to pick up the phone and scam people who call. And you're up against teams, too. It's not just one person. They work in teams. There's another example of one targeting Mac users. Warning, macOS infected with spyware. It's got a different Apple logo there. Call Apple helpline. If you call that number, it's a scam. Don't do it. Don't fall for this scam. Yeah, so that's a tech support scam. You need to watch out for them. You know, the examples we shared are ones that usually get started with a fake pop-up, right? A fake virus alert. But there have been cases where it could be a phone call that the victim just receives out of blue. And the person on the other end says, I'm with Microsoft or I'm with McAfee. We detected a virus on your computer. And sometimes they'll try to talk their way, into victim's computer. But I think in most cases, these fake virus alerts that you need to watch out for too. So don't fall for these tech support scams. When it comes to tech support, everybody should have their own computer guy, computer person, whatever the case that they deal with, right? So if they think they got a virus, there's no reason to deal with a stranger. Call your computer person. And we'll talk more about that too as the live stream goes on. How are we all doing this evening? Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. We do this live stream every week, spread awareness about common scams. So make sure to like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're going to be going for a couple more hours tonight, so make sure to share the live stream. Go repost it, send it to some friends. Let's get some more people in here. Get some more activity, some more engagement. You get a Scamware 101 travel mug on the YouTube store or on our website. We have the link to the merch store there too. We've got some cool merchandise you could get. The items that we picked out, like mouse pads, coffee mugs, stickers, they're all water bottles. They're all things that maybe you could have in front of you on your desk. Or you give them to that friend of yours that keeps getting scammed and they have it on their desk. And as it's always a reminder, stay scam aware. I envision them, they're about ready to click on a dangerous link, right? But then they look at the coffee mug on their desk and they remember, oh yeah, that's right. Scam, don't fall for it. So check it out. You can check it out. That's our merch shop. We have it on our YouTube channel here or on our website. That's just a way you can help support what we're doing over here too. All right, say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. We're going to keep on going over some more common scams here. Lots of good stuff coming this evening. We're going to go over some red flags too. So, and we want to hear your stories. Let me know if you've been targeted by these scams or know someone who has. Next scam we're going to talk about here. Road toll scams. So these road toll scams is when scammers impersonate road toll services, EasyPass, SunPass, FastTrack, and claim that an unpaid toll is due. Victims are usually contacted by text message or email containing a link to pay. However, the link opens a fake website designed to steal any personal or financial information entered by the victim. There never was an unpaid toll due. So this scam has been circulating a lot for the past year. Almost everybody I know has gotten these text messages that claim that you missed a toll, you have a road toll due. And they've gotten to the point where there's so many different variations of these. They're impersonating so many different agencies at this point. We've seen examples where they're impersonating SunPass, Peach Pass, Quick Pass, Good to Go, Easy Pass, North Texas Tollway, Fast Track, Drive Easy Maryland. They're literally impersonating everybody at this point. DMV, Department of Transportation. They've even made up agencies to impersonate. So it's important if you get any type of text message claiming that you have an unpaid road toll, to verify it through official channels, right? Don't trust any links that are in the text message. Don't call any phone numbers that are in the text message. You can't trust it. We know that scammers are actively targeting people with this type of scam. And here's an example of one of the text messages. Please pay your toll in Florida by January 22nd. In order to avoid excessive late fees and potential legal action on statements, please pay the tolls in time. Thank you for your cooperation. And it's got the fake link here, their fake website. What's up, John? Welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Better late than never, my friend. And then at the bottom of the text message, there's this instruction you'll notice. And you'll see this a lot on scam text messages, where it says, please reply yes and exit the text and reopen it. You're going to see that little instruction on a lot of these examples we shared tonight, because that's a big red flag. We know that scammers are including that instruction on a lot of their texts. Here's another example of these road toll text messages. And this one you could see came from the Philippines. It's got the country code of 63. Which again, that's a red flag too. It comes from a outside of U.S. phone number. Easy Drive Massachusetts reminder: your bill for $6.99 is due soon. Please visit. It's got the fake website. Don't trust it. Don't click that link. John sent 100 for 2 joules. Cool. Thanks, John. You sent 2 joules. Since your family, are those the family joules? Ha 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 ha. Is that a dad joke? I don't know. Anyway, here's another example. And you see this one came from the Philippines too. Your vehicle has an unpaid toll bill. To avoid excessive late fees on your bill, please settle it promptly. Thank you for your cooperation. Toll amount $6.99. And there's that instruction at the end, right, where it says please reply yes and reopen. We've even seen some cases of this scam where you get a text message and it just has an attachment to it. You see, this one actually came from a U.S. phone number, and it's got a PDF attachment, nothing else, right? Which, by the way, if you ever get a random attachment, whether it's a text message or an email, don't open it. You should never open attachments from unknown sources and they weren't expecting. But if you did open the attachment, in this case, here's what it would look like. You can see it's this letter all typed up, look professional. It says you missed a toll, February 2025, got $9 due, and it's got the link to the fake website here, pay now. In this case, it says that it's the Toll Enforcement Authority, which I don't even know if I don't even think it's a real agency. Now, if you did click on one of these links and you get taken to one of these fake websites, it might look like this. This one impersonates Washington State, good to go. And look, putting up these fake websites for scammers is no big deal. Right? They're prepared. They know that their websites will get taken down and they're going to have to put them up again. So they're ready. Putting up these fake, realistic-looking websites is no big deal to them. And in this case, you come to this website, and if you click payment, they'll take you to this page that steals all your payment details. It'll look legit, right? It's got the same colors and the logo, but you can't trust it. It's a scam. Let me know in the chat if you've ever received those types of text messages, the road toll scam. I'm telling you, that was so popular, I'd be shocked if you didn't. All right, just find the next scam we're going to talk about here. The next scam we're going to actually talk about is going to be a fake traffic ticket scam. And I think it's the one that's circulating now. I'm pretty sure it's from the same group that's behind these road toll scams. Because they're very similar scams where they contain the same type of threats. Here it is. Outstanding traffic ticket. Let me rename that this way I find it better next time. Put fake traffic ticket. There you go. Now I'll find it quicker next time. Okay. So, fake traffic ticket scams. It's pretty much identical to these fake road toll scams. You get a text message out of blue. It says you have a traffic ticket due. You see in this example, it came from the Philippines, just like the fake road toll example. It says Illinois Department of Vehicles, DMV. So I'm impersonating the DMV here. Final notice, enforcement penalties begin July 25th. Our records show that as of today, you still have an outstanding traffic ticket. And in accordance with Illinois code, blah, 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 if you do not complete payment by July 24th, we will take the following actions, right? Again, because these scammers, they want to scare you into reacting. right? So report to the DMV violation database, suspend your vehicle registration, suspend driving privileges, transfer to a toll booth and charge a 35% service fee. And it says you may be prosecuted and your credit score will be affected. Pay now. And it's got the link to the fake website. Please pay immediately before enforcement to avoid license suspension. So it's very similar to the fake road toll text message. It's practically the same thing. So don't trust it. Don't click that link. At best, that link's going to steal whatever information you have there. At worst, it's going to affect your device with malware. So just never click those links. Never trust them. And this example was an example from Illinois, right? Illinois Department of Vehicles. But look, here's a almost identical example. It says Nebraska Department of Vehicles. It's an identical example. They quote the same fake law, 15C-16.003, right? So it's the same scam, but this one says Nebraska instead of Illinois. So it's important to realize that, in the examples I'm showing you or the warnings that we get from certain states, the state is really irrelevant. If it's circulating in one state, 99.9% chance there's already ones that are hitting the other states too. So watch out for these road toll scams and fake traffic ticket text message scams. Important to be aware of those. They're extremely popular right now too. So let me know if you're watching. Let me know if you're here. It's pretty quiet over on Instagram and Facebook. So if you're here, definitely comment in the chat. Let me know you're there and you're watching. Want to hear from you. All right. Next scam we're going to go over is a wrong number scam. This is a good one. But before we do that, if you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. My name's Jared with Scamware 101. We do this live stream every week, and our mission here is to spread awareness of common scams that target individuals, just like you, your friends, your loved ones. So all important stuff to be aware of. You join our free mailing list on scamware101.com. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips and reminders when we're going live. You follow us on your favorite social media platforms. YouTube, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, X, Blue Sky. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that like, follow, subscribe. We need all the help we could get. Followers, subscribers, likes. See a couple people in the chat. We got Dave over there. We got John over there. I appreciate you guys. You're always here. We see Kevin over there. Don't know if he's still with us, but he was there. That sounded a little morbid. I'm sure he's still with us. He's just not in the chat. All right. Let's talk about our next scam here. Oh, actually, hold on one sec. I just got the alarms going off. All right, sorry about that. Wrong number scams. Scammers reach new victims by sending text messages to random phone numbers. When someone replies, wrong number, or who is this, the scammer attempts to continue the conversation and build a trust with the victim. As trust is gained, this type of scam evolves into a romance or pig butchering scam that ultimately steals money from the trusting victim. It's important to be aware of this type of scam. And the thing about these wrong number scams is a way for scammers to reach new victims, and then it evolves into a romance or a pig butchering scam. In fact, most of the cases that we hear of these people that ended up in romance scams or these pig butchering scams, they were trading crypto, a lot of times they got pulled in by these wrong number scams. They thought, a stranger, it was their lucky day meeting a stranger who happened to know somebody who traded crypto, and they thought it was their lucky day, but it's all a scam. That's why it's important to recognize these wrong number scams. In fact, if you ever wondered why you get so many text messages that are wrong numbers, it's because it's a scam. So let me know in the chat if you've been targeted by this scam before. But let's share some examples here. The thing about these wrong number scams is they can start in so many ways, right? They can start with something like a random message like, excuse me, is this Emma? Or, hey Anna, I'm Josie. Or just a message that says hi from a number you don't know, right? The scammer, the whole point of it is the scammer just wants you to reply. They want you to reply, who is this? Or to reply and say wrong number. Right? They just want to get a reply because then they know that your phone number is active. And they know you're on the other end and you're reading the scam message. And let me show you some examples of how this conversation might go. Hi, Margaret. Are you Lillian? Person replies, I'm Izzy. I'm really sorry. I think I made a mistake between your number and Lillian's number when I was saving it. Hope I didn't disturb your good day. The person replies back, it's okay. And really, at this point, conversation ends. It was a wrong number. It's established. But since it's a scam, the scammer's going to keep talking. Thank you for your understanding and patience. You're a kind person. I hope you have a good day today. I'm 36 years old. Would you mind telling me your age? Right, so that's going to start prying for information. In this case, the scammer asks for your age. I'll show you another one here. Random text message starts with, have a cup of coffee together sometime. Person replies back, who is this? Right, person replies back, that was my friend Laura. I'm Zoe. Yeah, wrong phone number. All right, at that point, it should end. But since it's a scammer, they keep going. I'm sorry. I thought this was Laura's number. I think I dialed the wrong number. Hope I'm not bothering you. Person replies back, no, it's okay. Have a great day. Right? And then the scammer keeps going. Right? Even though it's established, that's a wrong number. The scammer's going to keep going. They say, thank you for your kindness to my situation. I just realized I entered the wrong area code. Where are you from? So this one asks where you're from. Last example asks your age. This one asks where you're from. Let me show you another example here. This is one that came to me. Get a message that says hi. I reply back, hi, who is this? I'm Karina. Are you David? We met last week at Linda's party. You picked this number for me. Sorry, you have the wrong number. Right, at that point, conversation did end, but it doesn't because it's a scammer. Oh my gosh, I checked and found out I entered the wrong area code. I hope this doesn't bother you. All right, that's okay, no problem. Again, conversation should end at that point, but the scammer keeps going. Thank you very much. You're a very friendly and polite person. I hope we could be friends. Nice to meet you. My name is Karina. What can I call you? Reply back, Pat. Figured be a guy, girl, so Pat. You have a beautiful name. I'm from Malaysia, currently living in Los Angeles. Where do you live? Right, so they ask name, ask where you live. So you see where conversation's going. And that's how these wrong number scams work. The person, they reach out to you. I'm sorry, I have a wrong number. But you seem friendly. They try to get the conversation going. Sometimes they'll include a picture, like this one. Hi, Byron, I'm Jane. And you see in this example, we don't reply back. Right? So 4 hours later, the initial message comes at 1:58 p.m. Hi, Byron, I'm Jane. And it's got her picture. 4 hours on the dot, 5:58 p.m. after not replying. Have you gotten the pictures I sent? So important to recognize that this is a scam. Right? And sadly, people get this text message and they think, oh, it's my lucky day. And they reply. But that means you fell for it. So it's important to be aware of this type of scam. We have a video about this scam where we share all the examples that we just shared now. And is our first video and only video actually get over 100,000 views. So that's pretty cool. We got over 100,000 views. And there's a pretty decent amount of comments on the video. And this example right here, we had multiple people comment. They got the exact same message, exact same picture. All right, so this one's circulating. It's important to be aware of. And check out that video on our YouTube channel if you haven't seen it yet. It's a wrong number scam. Watch out for them. Be aware. You don't fall for them. All right, everybody, that's our first batch of scams we're talking about tonight. We got over 20 different scams we're going to talk about, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was first 6 scams that we're going to talk about this evening. Just updating the schedule here a little bit because we're going to jump into some red flags now. All right, cool. Pretty quiet in the Instagram and Facebook chats. Come on, guys, where are you at? Leave a comment, say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. It's awful quiet over there. All right, next up, we're going to talk about some red flags. 5 common red flags to watch out and be aware of that indicate you're talking to a scammer. Now, it's important to be aware of these red flags. And a lot of times we hear from these victims, when we hear their stories, a lot of times these red flags often appeared, right? And if they were only aware of these red flags, it might have been enough to stop this scam from happening. So these red flags are super important. We did a video about these 5 red flags. So all the 5 red flags we're going to talk about here and the slides we're going to use, they're all in that video as well on our YouTube channel. So you can share it with a loved one if you think they should be aware of this, which they should. They should definitely be aware of this. So let's talk about red flag number 1. They're dealing with a scammer. Okay, they direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Okay, we see this a lot, and it's important to realize that scammers love to use third-party chat apps because it's easier for them to communicate with their victims in other countries. And also, it offers them more anonymity for the scammer to hide behind. Right? So often, once they'll use a traditional method to initially hook the victim. Right? Like for wrong number scams, they'll start with a text message. But then as the conversation progresses, they'll say, hey, let's continue this conversation over on WhatsApp. Let's continue this conversation on Telegram. Right? They'll try to get you over to a third-party chat app. So, important to be aware of that. It's a red flag you're dealing with a scammer. And some scams where it's part of a playbook to get you over to Telegram or WhatsApp, a third-party chat app. We see it a lot for romance scams. The scammer creates these fake dating profiles to lure in new victims. And then once they have matches that they're talking with, they say, hey, let's keep talking on WhatsApp. It's a red flag. It's a scammer. Wrong number scams. Right? I just showed you how these wrong number scams start. You get these text messages from scammers. And once they get a conversation going with you, they'll say, hey, let's continue talking on WhatsApp. Right? Investment scams. A lot of times, a victim will be directed to Telegram or WhatsApp group to pump up an investment, make it appear more legit. They'll think that there's a whole group of people interested in this investment, but it's actually a scam. And a lot of times it'll just be bots. It won't be real people in the groups that you get invited to. So it's always a red flag when you're talking to somebody and they invite you to a Telegram or WhatsApp group or tell you to download an app to chat. Red flag, don't trust it, be aware. I see Lewis over in the Facebook chat. Good to see you over there, Lewis. We'll bring some more people in there. It's about red flag number 2, and this is a big one. They request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, and cryptocurrency, or by depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. Look, scammers love getting paid in these unusual forms of payment because it's easier for them to move and transfer the funds quickly, and it's also harder for victims to recover the money after it's sent. And that's a key point to remember there. Once these scammers receive that money from you, it's very hard to ever recover those funds. Which is why awareness, again, is so important. You want to be able to spot these scams before you actually send money to any scammers. And some scams are part of the playbook. I mean, most of them, actually. But where they request gift cards or prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, depositing cash at Bitcoin ATM. We see it a lot in these IRS and Social Security scams or government impersonation scams. It's 100% a scam. If someone's claiming to be with a government agency like the IRS or Social Security, and they're telling you to purchase gift cards or cryptocurrency, it's a scam, 100%. Eventually, the government might accept crypto, but right now they don't. So you can rest assured if somebody's calling you up claiming to be with the IRS, Social Security, and they're telling you to purchase gift cards, cryptocurrency, it's a scam. Big red flag, don't trust it. Romance scams. The scammers, they'll often request gift cards and cryptocurrency from their victims. Their victim thinks they're just sending a gift card to a scammer or to someone they're in a relationship with. But it's actually a scammer. And then the reality is they're asking for gift cards because once the victim realizes they're scammed, they're not going to be able to get those back from them. And the same thing for these impersonation scams, these bank impersonation scams. They tell the victim that their money's not safe, they need to withdraw from the bank, but then they instruct them to purchase gift cards or cryptocurrency or deposit at Bitcoin ATM. It's always a red flag. Any mention of gift cards, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, big red flags. So be aware of that. Watch out for them. Let me know in the chats if you've seen any of that happen. Red flag number 3. They asked to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. That's a big scam. We see it a lot on marketplace type websites like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. And what's really happening here is well, I'll give you an example. Sometimes they'll impersonate a buyer or a seller, and they'll say they just want to confirm your phone number, and they're going to send a text to a code to your phone. Right? But what they're actually doing, they're trying to create an account that's linked to your phone. They're trying to get into one of your existing accounts that's linked to your phone. They're trying to reset a password. They're doing something. All right. And if that code gets sent to your phone, if you provide it back to them, you're allowing them to do whatever malicious activity they're trying to do to your phone. So let's talk about that a little bit more. Again, you never want to provide a code to an individual that's saying they're sending you a code to your phone. All right. They might be trying to log into one of your accounts. And you get this code as a security measure. Right? If you provide this code back to the person, you're letting them access your account. Same thing for password reset requests. The person might be trying to reset your password. You're getting that code as a security measure. If you provide it back to the person, you're allowing them to reset your password. Right? So you never want to give some stranger a code. And then the other way is a Google Voice scam. What this is the scammer is trying to create a Google Voice account that's linked to your phone number. Right? By providing them the code that's sent to your phone, you're allowing them to do that. And now they have a Google Voice account that's linked to your phone number. It's a fraudulent account, and they could use it to go scam other people, right? So you never want to give an individual a number they say they're sending to your phone. It's a very common scam, especially on marketplace sites. Watch out for it, and don't fall for it. Be suspicious if somebody's saying they need to send a code to your phone. Usually up to something no good. Red flag number 4. Excuse me. They ask to connect to your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Right, so scammers love to get on people's PCs now. It's a gold mine for them. They could steal logins that are saved. They could steal logins and passwords they have saved in Chrome in your browser. Right? They could steal or encrypt your personal files, your documents, your pictures. They could hold them for ransom. They could blackmail you. They could attempt to access your online banking websites and other accounts through your computer. Any financial details you have saved locally. It's bad news. You never want a scammer to have access to your device. And they could also install software that lets them access it later. Once they're on it once, you don't know what they did. So you never want to let a stranger on your device. And some examples where it's part of the playbook now for a scammer to try to get onto your device is the tech support scams and the fake virus alerts that we talked about earlier. Right? They trick you into calling a fake tech support number. You're talking to a scammer. And the first thing they do is they say, let me access your device and take a look. Right? That's a scam. Fake order scams. We're going to talk about this one a little bit, but they impersonate customer support. And they'll say, sure, let me assist you. Can I connect your device and see what you see, right? But it's a scam. They're trying to get on your device so they can steal anything that's on there about you. And then there's the fake fraudulent activity when they're impersonating a bank or an agency, right, that's investigating fraud. They'll say, let me onto your device, and they'll say, hey, open up your bank accounts, and I'll check for malicious activity. You don't realize it, but you're logging into each of your bank accounts for these scammers while they're on your device. And they're actually seeing how much money you have, and so never want to let someone you don't know on your device. And what I tell people about this is that when it comes to your computer, you should have your tech support person, your go-to for tech support. Maybe it's the person you work with, the tech support department at your work. Maybe it's that family member that's good with computers. Maybe it's the computer shop down the street, right? But you already want to have in mind who you would trust to work on your computer, right? So if you ever end up in a situation where you get one of these fake virus alerts or you need support, instead of letting these strangers onto your device, reach out to your known and trusted computer person, right? Use them instead. So that's red flag number 4. They ask to connect to your device to assist or troubleshoot an issue. How are we doing out there? Let me know if you're watching. Let me know if you encounter any of these scams. I want to hear from you. Let's talk about red flag number 5. They request that you keep the matter confidential or secret. Hey, it's common for scammers to ask for confidentiality. They don't want you to discuss the situation with other people. The more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam, right? So they want you to keep quiet. They don't want you talking about what's going on. So a lot of times these scammers, they'll give you a story and a reason why you got to keep it quiet, and it'll be convincing, but it needs to be a red flag in your mind. And some examples where it's part of playbook, where they request secrecy or tell you to keep it quiet. Right? Grandparent scams, and we're going to be talking about these in a little bit. But grandparent scam, it's when they impersonate a relative or a loved one. They say they're in trouble, right? And then they impersonate a police officer. They say your loved one's embarrassed. They asked you not to tell anybody about this, right? But that's actually, they're just trying to keep you quiet, right? That's a request for secrecy. That's the red flag. Investment scams, they'll tell you an inside tip and not to tell anyone, or a price is just for you and not to share it. Right? But that's all part of the scam. They just don't want you talking to anybody about it. Inheritance scams. Right? You'll get a letter in the mail that impersonates a law office. We have an example we're going to share with you a little later in the live stream. And it claims that you have an inheritance from a long-lost loved one that you didn't know. But the letter will request confidentiality. It'll say, don't tell anybody about this. But who are they to tell you not to tell anybody they're getting inheritance? Right? It's just part of a scam. They just don't want anybody that you talk to mention, hey, it's a scam. Fake fraudulent activity. This is when they impersonate the bank or an agency investigating fraud. Right? And they'll tell you over the phone. They'll say, you can't tell anybody about this because you could hurt the investigation. This is an active investigation. And then we even threaten you. If you tell someone about this, we could hold you responsible for impeding an investigation. Right? So, but that's all just their sneaky ways of trying to get you to stay quiet and requesting secrecy. So it's a big red flag. If someone you're talking to requests secrecy, it's a red flag. So those are 5 red flags to watch out for. Indicate you're dealing with a scammer. Again, we did a video about those 5 red flags on our YouTube channel. So go share it with a loved one and anybody else that should know about it. If you're just joining a little late, let's summarize what those 5 red flags were real quick for you. And let us know in the chat if you're watching, if you just joined. But those 5 red flags are, 1, they direct you to a third-party chat app like Telegram or WhatsApp to continue the conversation. Right? We know they love using third-party chat apps. It's easier for them to scam victims all over the world. So that's a red flag. If you're talking to a stranger, they tell you to download Telegram or talk on WhatsApp. Red flag number 2. They request payment in gift cards, prepaid cards, cryptocurrency, or depositing cash at a Bitcoin ATM. We know they love those unusual forms of payment. It's easier for them to transfer funds and harder for victims to get those funds back. So it's always a red flag if you're talking to someone, they tell you to purchase gift cards or prepaid cards, cryptocurrency. They tell you to deposit money at a Bitcoin ATM. Be suspicious. A red flag. Red flag number 3. They ask you to provide a code that was sent to your phone via text message. Again, it's a very common scam. We see it on marketplace websites. They tell you they're sending a code to your phone, but they're actually up to something malicious. Maybe they're trying to access an account, reset a password. You don't trust it. If somebody's telling you they're sending a code to your phone, suspicious. Should be a red flag. Red flag number 4. They ask to connect your PC to assist or investigate an issue. Right, it's always a red flag. These scammers, they love to get onto your device. It's a gold mine to them. They could extract your passwords, your logins, access your files. So if someone's trying to get onto your device, be suspicious. Only let trusted individuals that you know onto your device. And then red flag number 5, they request you keep the matter confidential or secret. Scammers, they don't want you talking to people. The more people you talk to, the more likely you'll be told it's a scam. So they want you to keep quiet, at least until they steal your money first. So it's always a red flag if someone you're talking to is telling you to keep the matter confidential, secret, quiet. And look, these 5 red flags, usually at least one of them comes up when we hear about a victim's story. So it's important to be aware of these 5 red flags. A lot of times, it might be your last chance to stop the scam from happening, like when they request the gift cards. Right? At that point, that's almost your last chance to be like, wait a minute, this is a scam. Because if you don't realize at that point, the next step is you send them the gift cards, right? And you're not getting them back. So anyway, 5 red flags, be aware of them. Check out the video on our YouTube channel, share it with a loved one. And let us know if you've encountered them or you've seen them in your life. If you just joined us, say hi in the chat. Let us know you're watching. We're live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We just went over our first hour here. We started at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. So we're going for another 2 hours or so. We're actually going to take our first quick coffee break right now. We take 2 5-minute breaks on our live stream. right? Just to get recaffeinated and stay aware and awake and give you my all here. So we're going to take that first coffee break right now. And then we're going to continue into some more common scams here. Lots of good ones coming up. We're going to go over grandparent scams, fake order scams, all good stuff. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. And we're going to be back in 5 minutes. Hit that thumbs up and like button if you haven't yet. Hit like, follow, subscribe. Help spread awareness about these scams. We'll be back momentarily. Get recaffeinated. Check out the YouTube store if you want your own Scamware 101 coffee mug and travel mug. All right. Hey, Dave, if you're still there, over yesterday, I was working on a coffee break video just to play for the 5 minutes when we do these coffee breaks. I put the song that you created, I put the song in it. And I was all excited. I was so close to having the thing done. And I'd only worked on it one day, so I hadn't gotten it backed up yet. And then something happened with my software where it crashed the next day. I lost the damn video. So, but it's coming, man. It's coming. I'm hoping by next week I just got to go recreate it now. But it's a pretty cool video, and I put the theme song you made in it. So it's coming, man. I'm going to put that to good use soon. All right. Cool. We're going to keep rolling here. We got some common scams to go over. If you're just joining, welcome to the live stream. We've been going for an hour so far. We started at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. And we do this live stream every week. If you're just joining, my name is Jared. I'm with Scamware 101. And our mission is to spread awareness about common scams that target individuals. Individuals like you, me, your friends, your loved ones. Everyone's a target of the type of scams that we're discussing. And on this live stream, we go over about 20 different types of scams that you should be aware of. We are about 6 in so far, and we're about ready to go over our next batch here of scams. Again, these are all scams that target individuals like you, your friends, your family, your loved ones. So really, they're scams that everybody should be aware of and alert for. So hit that thumbs up button, give us a like, let us know you're watching, say hi in the chat. I want to hear from you. Tell us if you've been targeted with these scams, if you're experiencing these scams. I want to hear your stories. And we're going to continue here with some more useful information. And actually, right before we continue, join our free mailing list. We have a free mailing list. Go to scamware101.com. Join the free mailing list. We'll send you some scam awareness tips. We'll send you reminders when we're going to go live. You can unsubscribe at any time if you want, but we don't abuse the privilege. We don't send you too many emails. So it's just all useful stuff and then the reminders when we're going live. So check out the free mailing list, scamaware101.com. Also, follow us on your favorite social media, YouTube, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram. All right, the more followers we get, the more likes we get. It really does help. We're trying to do something good here, spread awareness of common scams, and the likes and follows really do help get the word out there. So take a minute, follow us on your favorite social media platforms, hit that like button. We're going to be live streaming for at least another 2 hours. We're on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So if you still have time to invite your friends, go and share the live stream on your timeline. Let's get some more people in here. And say hi in the chat. Let me know you're watching. Let's get some engagement in there, get some reactions going. And again, let me know if you've been targeted by any scams that we're talking about this evening here on the live stream. Oh, and by the way, we also have super thanks and memberships enabled on YouTube. So if you want to help us out financially, you could send us a super thanks. You could join one of the membership levels on YouTube. And also on our website, scamware101.com/donate. We'll gladly take donations, and you can scan the QR code on your screen too. They should say. We also have the donate button on our website here all the way at the bottom, donate. So we'll take it. Now with that said, let's continue talking about some more of these common scams to be aware of here. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is actually it's a grandparent scam. That's when scammers impersonate a distressed relative, claiming they have been arrested and needing financial help. Victims, usually seniors, act quickly to assist their loved ones. The scammers will often impersonate law enforcement, court personnel, and lawyers to extract even more money from the victims. Right? And this is that type of scam that everybody should be angry about. This type of scam. It's called a grandparent scam because it targets your grandparents. It literally targets your loved ones, right? And then from the grandparents' perspective, they're using your loved ones to target you, right? So everybody should be angry about this scam. They're literally trying to rob your grandma. You know what I mean? It doesn't get much lower than that. So, and the thing about these grandparent scammers is they want to take everything from their victim, right? This isn't the scams we're talking about aren't the type of scams where you just get scammed out of $100, right? These scammers, they want to take everything you got. They want to get into your bank accounts, your investment accounts, and they want to trick you to withdraw and transfer everything you got. They don't just stop, with one thing. And this grandparent scam is a good example of that, because what happens is, these scammers, they reach out to the victim first, and they'll impersonate law enforcement and say you need to pay. Then they'll impersonate court personnel and say you need to pay. Then they impersonate law offices and say you need to pay. And they just keep on going and making up agencies until your grandma has no more money left. And then, next thing you know, you're getting a call. And you're saying, I wasn't arrested. I wasn't in trouble. What are you talking about? You just gave away your retirement fund to somebody? All right, so these grandparent scams, they're pretty malicious. It's important to be aware of. Make sure your loved ones are aware of them. We actually have a video here for you to show you of a scammer performing one of these grandparent scams, right? And so if you're thinking to yourself, well, I would know if it was my daughter calling me. I would be able to tell if it was a loved one calling me. I'm going to show you a video of this scammer, this grandparent scammer right here in action, because you'll see the way it works is for 20 seconds, he acts as a distressed relative, right? And honestly, it could sound like anybody's loved one. He does like he pretends to be crying, and it could be anybody's loved one asking for help. For a quick 20 seconds, they switches over and impersonates a cop. So I could see how someone could fall for this, right? Or initially think, okay, that was my daughter, my granddaughter, right? But anyway, let me play an example of this for you, and actually let me frame this real quick. So the video we're about to watch, it's just a short video. It's actually of a scammer, a real scammer that's in the Dominican Republic, and he's performing a grandparent scam. And what he is he's known as the opener. So his job is to reach out to these new targets, these grandparents, and open the scam. He impersonates the loved one, he impersonates the police officer, and then he says, "Stand by, we'll be calling you back." All right, so he's the opener, that's what he does. He initiates and opens the scam. Then a separate set of scammers take over from there. They reach out to the victim, and then they start getting money and doing their part of the scam. But this is the opening of this scam. The guy we're about ready to watch, he's a scammer, Dominican Republic, and he's doing a grandparent scam and opening it, talking to the victim. This video was actually obtained by a YouTuber that goes by the name Scam Sandwich. He's a YouTuber. He messes with these scammers, and he actually was able to hack into this scammer's device and record him on his webcam. So that's how we got this video. It was actually recorded from the scammer's webcam of him doing one of his grandparent scams. So anyway, let's watch this video, and you'll see. I think you'll get a better understanding of why someone could fall for this. Because again, you're dealing with professionals. These people do this for a living, right? So anyway, here you go. Let's watch this video real quick. It's a grandparent scam. It's a scammer in the Dominican Republic opening a grandparent scam. I'm gonna volume up a little bit for you. Okay.
Oh, Mom, I had a car accident.
Huh?
I had a car accident, Mom.
Is this Linda?
It's me, Linda.
Where are you?
I got a car accident.
What happened?
I'm gonna put the officer on. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, are you Linda's mom?
Yes.
What I'm gonna need you to do is grab a pen and paper and write down Linda's case number, ma'am. I need you to hurry up, please, ma'am.
Case number?
It's the number 2.
2?
The letter B as in boy. Can you read that back to me?
2, B.
Now, I'm gonna read what's going on, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
Linda was involved in a car accident. It was stated in the police report. She admitted that was her fault. While she was driving, she was using her phone. That's what caused the accident, ma'am, okay?
Oh, man.
The woman that was driving the other vehicle was 7 months pregnant. We had to rush her into the nearby hospital. She might lose her baby.
Oh, really?
Yes. Now, we actually confiscated her cell phone for legal evidence, so she cannot receive or cannot make calls. This is going to be her only last call. Are you with me, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Now, she actually wrote a note down here saying that she didn't want anyone to know about this. Let's honor her wish for right now because it's too much for her right now. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
What I'm going to need you to do, ma'am, is stay by the phone and wait for the lawyer to call, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye, ma'am.
All right, bye.
There you go. So that was an actual video of a scammer. He's an opener, he's known as, opening a grandparent scam. And could you see how someone could fall for that, though, and actually think that it was a loved one? Because the first 20 seconds of that video, he just impersonates a crying loved one, right? And it could pass as anybody's loved one. And then he switches over after 20 seconds. He impersonates a police officer. He's got the police scanner recordings playing in the background, trying to make it sound like he's calling from an actual police station. Notice the request for secrecy where he says she's embarrassed and asks you not to tell anybody about this, so let's respect her wishes. That's that red flag, right? The request for secrecy. And then notice how he says something like, we confiscated your daughter's phone, so even try calling. Right? That's just kind of to implant the idea of don't try calling her. You're not going to reach her. Right? Where the reality is she probably would reach her because she's not really arrested. But so you can see how this could work. I can see how somebody could fall for it. Especially someone that's not familiar or aware of this type of scam. So, warn your loved ones. Make sure they're aware of this one. Again, these scammers, they do this for a living. They're very good at what they do. And especially this type of scam, they would have cleared this woman out. And just to let you know, as far as the lady that we heard on the phone, the potential victim, the YouTuber that was able to record this, he was able to reach her and warn her. So the victim that you heard didn't actually become a victim. She didn't lose anything because he was able to warn her of this scammer. But anyway, I think that video is fascinating. It gives you a peek behind the scenes of what's going on and who you're dealing with. And make sure that your loved ones are aware of this and don't fall for this. It's known as a grandparent scam. It's a type of scam that's literally targeting your grandparents or your parents. All right. Or if you're the grandparents or parents, it's using your children or grandchildren to trick you. Right. So if you get some kind of call like this, it's okay to stop and hang up and reach out to your loved ones, right? Ask what police stations the scammer's calling from, right? And then hang up. Reach out through official channels, but it's okay to, don't let these scammers scare you. All right. So that's a grandparent scam. Important to be aware of that one. Let me know in the chat if you've encountered this or have a loved one that's encountered this scam. We know that there's a whole group running out of Dominican Republic that's running this scam. There's been reports of groups in Canada, right? So this is a very common scam. They're being run by multiple groups throughout the world, and they're good at it. They're good at what they do. So be aware of it and don't fall for it. How we all doing? If you just joined in the chat, say hi. Let us know you're watching. We're just going over some common scams here to be aware of. We do this live stream every week at Scamaware 101. So make sure to like, follow, subscribe. Let's get some more people into the live streams. Still plenty of time to share this and invite some more people in. Where are we going for at least another 2 hours? So we're going to go until at least 9 o'clock here. Going over at least 20. We're in the middle of going over 20 different types of scams. We went over some red flags to be aware of. Going over lots of examples that we're sharing with you of these scams. So all good stuff coming up and all active. Important to be aware of. So make sure to join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. It's free to join. We'll send you some scam awareness tips, reminders of when we go live. All useful stuff. You can follow us on your favorite social media platforms, YouTube, Blue Sky X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram. We're most active on Facebook and YouTube, though, so definitely follow us and like on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All the videos that we do and release, we release them on YouTube first. So the next scam we're going to talk about, this one's really important to be aware of, too. It's important because we're being targeted from all directions by this type of scam, this fake order scam. We're getting emails of fake order notifications. We're getting text messages with fake order notifications. We're getting phone calls of fake order notifications. Getting tongue-tied there. And it's important to be aware of these fake order scams because they can vary by so much. They could claim that any item was purchased. They could claim that they're any vendor. And what these fake order scams are is basically the victims receive a fake notification, email, text message, phone call, right? Then an order was made under their account. When the victim calls to dispute the fake order, they're actually calling a scammer, right? Because the notification says, call this number to dispute it, right? But if you call that number, you actually connect to a scammer. The scammer impersonates customer support, and then they attempt to get into your bank accounts and steal your money. A lot of times, this type of scam, once they get you on the phone, it evolves. They'll say, oh, you didn't place the order. Oh, somebody has access to your account. You need to transfer your money. And then it evolves into your money's not safe and send it to us type scam. And it's important to be aware of this one again because this notification could impersonate any vendor. I'm going to show you some examples. One claims to be Walmart. One claims to be Amazon. One claims to be Apple. Right? And then they could claim any kind of item was purchased too. One example I'm going to share is a PlayStation. They say PlayStation was purchased. Another says MacBook was purchased. Another says an iPhone was. So it could vary. So it's important to be aware of these fake order scams and the idea of how they work. Right? The idea is to get you to think an order was placed when there was no order. But the idea is to trick you into calling to dispute an order. Oh, awesome. Thanks for the super thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. $5. For Bennett. Bennett may like some treats. There we go. I'll make sure to give Bennett some belly rubs. Some belly rubs for you. Appreciate it, Dave. So let's look at some examples of these fake order scams. And by the way, if anybody else wants to give us super thanks, hop on over to YouTube. We have super thanks enabled. We have memberships enabled. We appreciate any help. You go to scamaware101.com/donate. We'll take donations. We appreciate anything we can get. And put something to good. We usually I'm paying out of the pocket for some advertising here, trying to get people into the live streams and things like that. So anything helps. Yeah. But anyway, let's continue talking about these fake order scams. Dave, appreciate you, man. So you're being targeted from all directions with these fake order scams again. And we have some examples of each to share with you. All right, so first I'm going to share with you is this text message that impersonates Apple. All right, you get this text message out of nowhere, and it says, "We have noticed that your Apple iCloud ID was recently used at the Apple Store for $143, paid by Apple pre-authorization." And then it continues on to say, "Call this number immediately to cancel this charge." All right, so a normal person would get this message and think, "I didn't make a $143 charge. I better call this number to dispute it." Right? But if you call that number, you actually get connected to a scammer. Right? And that's how this trick works. You get a text message. It claims that something was purchased. It could be anything. Something was purchased or there was a charge to your account, and it says, "Call this number to dispute it." That's how the scam works. You call a number to dispute it, and then you're talking to a scammer without realizing it. This text message example, multiple people sent me the same exact example, so be aware of this one. This one is impersonating Apple, but really, again, it could always impersonate anybody, so you always have to be alert. So there's a text message example of these fake order scams. But they're also targeting people over the phone. And I have a couple examples of that to share with you now, too. So we're going to play 2 phone call examples of these fake order scams that are circulating. Both are recent recordings. Right? And the first one that we're going to play here, it impersonates Walmart. And it says a MacBook Pro was purchased under your account. Right? And then it says to press 1 to dispute. The idea was somebody was supposed to answer the phone when this call came in. And if you press 1, you'd get connected to the scammer. Right? They want to scare you. They want to make you think you spent $1,400 on a MacBook. You've got to press 1 to dispute it. All lies, all not true. But if you press 1, you end up talking to the scammer. That's how it works. So let's listen to an example of that phone call. It's a fake order scam phone call. And let me know in the chats if you got on this phone call. It's a really common one.
This call is to authorize the payment of $1,499 for the recent order of Apple MacBook Pro on your Amazon account. If you do not authorize this payment, please press 1 to speak to our customer support representative.
Right? So there you go. That was a robocall. It's just going out to everybody. It says that MacBook Pro was purchased under your account. If this wasn't you, press 1. Right? So the idea is to trick you into pressing 1 and talk to a scammer. So let me know in the chat if you got that phone call. Because actually the same phone call was reported to me by multiple people. And like our other scams, we have a video about these fake order scams too. I included that recording in the video, and a lot of people were commenting saying they received the same call as well. So watch out for that fake order call. It claims to be Amazon. It claims a MacBook Pro was purchased. And that's when it's circulating. Here's another one that's circulating and important to be aware of too. This one claims to be from Walmart. And it says that a PlayStation was purchased under your account. And then it says to call number on screen to dispute, which is always a red flag. We'll talk about that one more. But anyway, let's listen to this phone call. And again, let me know in the chat if you received one like this or one that's similar to this.
We are trying to contact you concerning an unverified purchase of PlayStation 5 Special Edition bundled with Pulse 3D headset being ordered from your Walmart account for an amount of $859.50. If you did not authorize this transaction or wish to cancel, please press 1 or return our call on same number at your earliest convenience.
So there's another example of fake order phone call that you might receive. That one impersonates Walmart. This says a PlayStation was purchased under your account. And then it says to press 1, which would connect it to the scammer, or to call back the number on screen, which would connect it to the scammer. And by the way, that's always a red flag. If you get a voicemail that says call back number on screen, it's a scam. If they don't even leave a real number behind, right? So don't fall for that. But again, these are fake order scam phone calls. Those are 2 phone calls that are circulating. And again, the tricky thing about this scam is they can impersonate any vendor. They can claim anything was purchased. The idea is just to get you to call back and dispute it. All right. So we looked at a text message version of this. We listened to 2 phone recordings of these fake order scams. All right, but what about email? Okay. Well, email, we're being targeted as well, right? And what we have here is I have a news article from a victim. It's a victim story who fell for this type of scam. And in her case, it was the email version of this scam. So let's read a little bit about her story about these fake order scams and what happened to her. 23-year-old Lincoln, but it was August 2024, so a little over a year ago. 23-year-old Lincoln woman reported losing $4,100 after falling victim to identity fraud scam in July. And notice her age, 23 years old. So again, here's another example where it's not just older folks falling for these scams, right? Shared a couple examples already. They're younger folks falling for them. The scam began with an email claiming she had purchased an iPhone. Right, so there's the fake order notification. It's the email version. She gets an email, says she purchased an iPhone, and it says to call this number to dispute it. Right, stop right there. That's the fake order notification. Then once they get you on the phone, the scam evolves. Right. So we'll talk a little bit more about how it evolves because this article gives us some details. But the main thing we want you to recognize here is to recognize that we don't want you to end up even on the phone with a scammer. We want you to recognize these fake order scams when you're targeted with them, right? We don't want you to have to call a number and talk to a scammer and not realize until later. You want to realize right away, wait a minute, this is probably a fake order notification. I'm not going to go calling back this number. So anyway, this example happened to her. In her case was the email. Email says she purchased an iPhone. She calls the number to dispute it. She thinks she's talking to Apple. She's actually talking to a scammer, right? And here's how the scam proceeds in her case, right? So she's talking to the scammer on the phone. She thinks she's talking to Apple customer support, and she's told that her identity has opened multiple accounts across various states, and she was told somebody was using her identity. According to police, scammers then connected the woman to a person posing as a CIA agent who instructed her to withdraw $3,600 from the bank. The next day, she was directed to use the money to purchase Walmart gift cards and send photos and receipts. Additionally, the woman sent another $500 gift card to the scammers. Right? So, there you go. She got hit with the fake order scam. And then it evolved into the type of scammer. They said you got to remove your money from a bank account, purchase gift cards, right? So there's a red flag gift card, right? We talked about those red flags earlier. Any mention of gift cards needs to be a red flag. And, this is why we share. This is why we do this live stream and we share these details every week. Because in this woman's case, for example, if she had been aware of these fake order scams, maybe she would have never even called back the number, right? So right off the bat, hopefully you're learning something here about, wait a minute, fake order scams, I need to be suspicious about any kind of notification about an order, right? But even if she didn't learn about it, if she still watched this live stream, or in your case, hopefully you'll recognize this red flag now, because she gets to the point where they say purchase gift cards. And that needs to be recognized as the red flag, too, is purchasing gift cards, right? So we go over that, and we're hoping that maybe some viewers, you ever find yourself in this situation, you'll be able to recognize this type of scam before even interacting with the scammer. But if you end up interacting with the scammer, then at least recognize the red flag of the gift cards, like what happened to this woman. But anyway, that's a fake order scam. And like I said, you're being targeted through text messages, through emails, through phone calls, right? And we shared a bunch of examples of each for you, so don't fall for them. And remember, these scams, they're flexible, right? They could say they're from any vendor. They could say you purchased any item. They could switch it up. So you have to just stay alert for any type of order notification. And then verify through official sources. Don't trust the phone number to call. Don't trust anything they put in a text message. If they say something was purchased on your Apple account, go check your Apple account directly. Go calling a phone number. Amazon, they claim that you purchased the MacBook Pro on your Amazon. Go check your Amazon account directly. Don't click the link. Don't go calling phone numbers. All right. Anyway, fake order scams. Important to be aware of those. We have a video about that on our YouTube channel. So check that one out. Share it with your loved ones. How are we all doing this evening? Let me know you're watching in the chat, the comments. Oh, cool. I see Marilyn over in the Facebook chat asking what happens after you hit 1. You asked that a few minutes ago, but if you're still here, let me know if you're still here, Marilyn. So we covered that a little bit in the email example that we just showed. So the victim pressed 1. You get connected to the scammers. The scammers impersonate whoever they claim to be. Like if you're calling Apple, they claim to be Apple, right? If you're calling one of Walmart, they claim to be Walmart. If you're calling one from Amazon, they claim to be Amazon, right? And then once you're on the phone with them, they usually, it could change, but usually it seems to evolve into a scenario where somebody has access to your account. You need to transfer your money to keep it safe, right? Sometimes they'll say they're transferring you to the CIA, or they're transferring you to another fraud department, right? So it starts off with customer service, but now you're dealing with a fraud department or the CIA or a government official, right? So it could vary once you're on the phone with them. That's a good question. Hopefully you're still in the chat and you're able to hear my answer. Thanks for asking, though. I appreciate it. And you need to watch out. There's some common email ones. PayPal, right? You get these PayPal emails that say, oh, there was a transaction or a payment sent from your PayPal account. Call this number to dispute it, right? But it doesn't call PayPal. It calls a scammer, right? So it's important to be aware of that type of scam. They'll impersonate PayPal. Geek Squad, there's that Geek Squad email that's going around. It says that your Geek Squad annual renewal is going through, right? And it'll say call a number if you'll dispute it. But if you call, right, they'll say, oh, somebody is using your identity. Somebody has access to your accounts. So watch out for these Geek Squad and PayPal emails. They're fake order scams. Yeah, thanks for asking, Marilyn. Appreciate it. Oh, I just realized I didn't have my window up, so it was blank there for a minute. My bad. All right. If you just joined us, welcome to the live stream. We just live stream every week, spread awareness about common scams. All these scams target individuals, right? They're targeting you, your friends, your family, your loved ones. So we're going to be going for at least another hour and a half here. Lots of good stuff coming up. We're going over some more common scams. We're about ready to talk about undeliverable package scams, which are important to know about now, this time of year, as the holidays start approaching. Staying caffeinated out of my Scamware 101 travel mug here. You can help support what we're doing over here at Scamware 101 by purchasing a mug. We have some other things on our merch shop and gift store. Right, you get over on our YouTube channel or on our website. We have the link down here. You can click gift shop. We have some mugs available, some water bottles, mouse pads, things like that. Keep on your desk. Remind yourself or remind your loved ones not to get scammed. So help support us by purchasing a mug. We appreciate it. Join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. We'll let you know when we add new content and we're going live. All useful things. Help protect yourself and your loved ones from scams. All right, this next one we're going to talk about here. Undeliverable package scams. And let me know in the chat in the comments if you've been targeted by these. We've seen an increase in these again. They always increase during the holidays as the holidays start approaching because people are sending and receiving more packages, right? So they're more likely to fall for this type of scam regarding a package. And what's important to recognize is these text messages that claim to be from FedEx, USPS, UPS, they're fake. UPS, FedEx, they don't send text messages like this, right? So let me tell you about these undeliverable package scams and what to watch out for. Victims receive fake notifications about undeliverable packages and are asked to click a link to resolve. But the link will open a fake website that impersonates UPS or FedEx or USPS. And any personal financial details provided are stolen by the scammers. And again, this type of scam, it picks up a lot during the holidays. Let me show you one example here. UPS ground, reschedule a shipment delivery. We attempt to deliver your UPS package on June 23rd. So there's that little grammar indicator there, red flag. You see something like that, it's a little indicator it's a scam. But we were unable to contact you and the delivery could not be completed. Your package needs to be signed for in person, so please reschedule a delivery by doing the following. And it's got a link to click. But if you click that link, you're taking to a fake website. Another one from USPS. Due to an invalid address, you have a package that needs to be delivered, but has been suspended due to incorrect delivery address. If you do not update your address before 24 hours, your package will be returned to sender. But this is a scam. These are all fake. You would never get text messages like this from USPS or FedEx. They just don't send text messages like this. So if you get a text that's claiming you have a package, it's fake. It's a scam. Don't click that link. If you click that, well, let me show you a few more examples. I'm going to show you what will happen if you click that link. Here's an example of one where it's a group text message. They named it to USPS to, I guess, make it stick out and appear like it's more real. And that says, since the package does not have a house number, the package transportation is interrupted. As a link to update. And here's another example. Here's 2 text messages. They come in and they have a file attachment. Right? You can see this first one here as an HTML file, has a USPS logo at the top. Dear customer, your package has arrived at the distribution facility, but we are unable to deliver it due to incomplete address information. Please click on the HTML file above to update your address. Right? Never open attachments that came from people you don't know or places you weren't expecting from, right? Because it's dangerous. At the very least, it'll have a link to a fake website, but at the worst, it's going to install malware on your device. So never open attachments that you weren't expecting. And here's another version of that. So it's got a PDF file. This example has a HTML file. This example has a PDF file. Now, if you did click on one of these links, which you should avoid and try not to do, but if you did, it might take you to a website that looks like this. And again, these scammers, it's no big deal for them to put up fake websites. They have them ready to go. They know that they're going to constantly have to put up new ones after old ones get taken down. So they put up these websites that they'll have the logo, the colors. They look realistic. This has a fake tracking number. All right. But any information that the person enters for redelivery is actually going to get stolen by the scammers. So shipping details, payment details, and there's no package. There's no package. It's all scam. So it's important to be aware of that. Don't fall for that. These always pick up during the holidays. All right, because there's so many packages being sent and received, it's just more likely people will fall for them. So be aware as the holidays start approaching, the end of the year starts approaching, to watch out for these undeliverable package scams. And you know, the version that I just showed you is actually the text message version of this scam, which is the most common one, are these text messages that claim you have a package. But there's also an email version of this scam too. And before I show you examples of that, just something to keep in mind is that if there's a text message scam, chances are there's an email version of that scam. And vice versa. If there's an email scam, chances are there's a text message version of this scam. So you always have to be alert whether you're getting this notification or through email, text message, phone calls. You know, a lot of scams, they're designed across all different communication methods, right? So you always got to be alert. But yeah, so watch out for those text messages that claim there was a package that couldn't be delivered. And watch out for these emails that claim that there was a package that couldn't be delivered. Last year, in November, we were the first and only person to report on this new version of an undeliverable package scam that was coming through email. And here it is right here. You can see November 16th. The email impersonates FedEx. It says your package appears to be delayed. And it says, as an apology, we'd like to offer you a compensation product up to $100 in value. And that has a link to a fake website. And this is from last year. We're probably going to see this again this year because it popped up during the holidays for Black Friday and boom, it disappeared. So here's a week later, November 22nd. So the first one was November 16th. The second one was November 22nd. Has UPS's logo. We can sell the same type of scam, right? It's got the same logo, practically the same email text. All right, we value your time. We want to make things right. As an apology, we'd like to offer you a compensation product with $100 in value. It's got the get your compensation now button. Right, so these are email versions of the scam. Look, FedEx and UPS, they don't give compensation products when your packages are delayed. It'd be nice if they did, but they don't. So you can be assured that this is a scam. If you get an email from FedEx, UPS claiming they're going to give you a free compensation product, don't trust it. It's a scam. Don't click that link. It's going to take you to a fake website. And I'll show you an example of the fake website next, because we're going to talk about fake retail websites next example. But it's going to take it to a fake website, right? And they're going to say, just pay for shipping. And that's how they scam you. That's how they steal your information. It says, just pay for shipping. So anyway, watch out for these undeliverable package scams, whether it's a text message or an email. We have two videos about that scam on our site. When we discovered that email version, we released a video about it. So check it out on our YouTube channel as well. And watch out for these undeliverable package scams as the holidays approach, because they're coming. We've already seen an increase in reports of these. So let me know in the chat, in the comments, if you've ever received those text messages, those undeliverable package text messages. I know you have. Come on, people. I know somebody watching the Facebook Live right now. I know you've gotten those text messages before. Let me know in the chat if you've got them. I know over on YouTube you're watching. You guys have gone before. I know you have. So watch out for those undeliverable text message scams. Next scam we're going to talk about here. Fake retail websites. This is one you also have to watch out for. It's all year round, but this one also picks up during the holidays as well. All right, so these scammers, they create fake websites to sell products that are never delivered. The victims are lured in by unbeatable deals and lose the money once they pay. These scams often target holiday shoppers or those seeking trending items. All right, and we're going to show you some examples of what these fake retail websites might look like. But again, you have to be aware during the holidays of this type of scam, because what they're going to do is suddenly all these fake websites are going to pop up offering hard to get items like Labubus. All right, that one's coming. Watch out for. We're already hearing about all the fake Labubus and the websites, the fake websites that are ripping people off. All right. So watch out for these fake retail websites. I see Dave, not Dave. I see Lewis. Javier's in the Facebook channel. So yeah, report as junk if I didn't order anything. Exactly, Javier. That's what you should do with emails, with text messages too. Anything that you know is a scam, report it as junk and ignore it. Which actually, that reminds me, there's an important point to bring up there. You never want to engage with these scammers. Even if you know it's a scam, some people like to mess with the scammers. Don't. It's not worth it, because you're just confirming that you're an active contact for them to target even more, right? If you reply to their text messages, they know, oh, this guy reads his text messages. And suddenly you'll start getting scammed from all these other phone numbers, right? If you reply to their emails, they'll start targeting you with even more emails. So the best thing to do is just ignore them, report them as junk, delete them, and don't engage. Whether it's an email, a text message, right? The less you engage, the better. So that's a good point. Thank you, Javier, for mentioning they report them as junk. So these fake retail websites, let me show you a few examples. And these examples actually come from the last scam we were talking about, the undeliverable package scam where it says click here. These examples I'm going to show are of the products that they were offering. Because that scam evolved from an undeliverable package scam and evolved into a fake retail website scam. And you can see across the top here is a fake Black Friday sale banner they put. You know, this is why they're giving it away for Black Friday. And it's a wireless headphones. They say they're valued at $175, but you can get them now just paying $9 shipping, $8.95 shipping. All right, and that's how they get your information. Any information you enter, they're going to steal. And you think you're getting this $175 item for $8. If something's too good to be true, it probably is. Here's another example, another item. It's a portable heater and valued at $175, but you can get it now for $8.69. Just pay shipping. All right, so that's the scam. They trick you into just paying shipping. There's another one. Oops, that's the heater again. Here it is. Another one. Wireless earbuds. Valued at $175, just pay $8.69 for shipping. Black Friday sale. But it's a scam. So I need to watch out for these during the holidays, because they're coming. And there's many different ways that these scammers could get you onto these websites too, that you need to be aware of and watch out for. Right? You could end up on one of these fake retail websites. You could end up by clicking on an ad that you see on social media, like Facebook or Instagram. Right? Scammers can purchase ads just like anybody else. Right? So you see an ad that's offering you a free product, just pay shipping. That could be a scam. Be careful. Search results, right? You're doing a search on Google for a product. Scammers purchase sponsored listings just like anybody else, right? So you're searching for these products and boom, they'll get taken to a scam website. So just because you see a sponsored listing doesn't mean you can trust it. Don't be suspicious that way. And there's emails, where there's fake email offers that you get. Valued customer, free products, right? But be alert. That's how they get you. Something sounds too good to be true. Probably is. So watch out for these fake retail website scams. We know that the holidays are coming. You're going to see more and more of them popping up. Important to be aware of them. Let me know in the chat if you've encountered any of these. gotten ripped off by any of them or been targeted more lately by them? If you just joined, welcome to the live stream. Make sure to join our free mailing list. Go to scamaware101.com and hit join mailing list. It's free to join. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips, reminders when we're going live, all good stuff. So check it out, scamaware101.com, and join free mailing list. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, but we're also on Threads, Blue Sky, and X. We're not as active there, though, but follow us anyway. The more likes, the more subscribers, the more followers we get, the better. Help us spread awareness about these scams. Because that's our mission here. Spread awareness about these scams that target individuals. They target individuals like you, me, your friends, family, your loved ones. Important to be aware of these. All right, let's talk about our next scam here. Gift card received scams. Victims receive an email notification that they received a gift card. When the victim attempts to activate the gift card by clicking a link, malware is installed on their device, or a fake website is opened to steal personal information. All right, so you get this email. Here's an example of one. You get an email. This one claims to be from Venmo. Your $50 gift card is here. And it says, your company has given you an employee rewards card. Activate your card today. All right, but this is a scam. If you click that link to activate the card, it might steal your personal details, or your logins. Right? And if you weren't expecting this gift card, you definitely don't want to trust the link. So in this case, what you would do is you would actually reach out to your employer and say, hey, did you actually send me this employee rewards card? Right? Or if it said it came from a family member or a friend or a vendor, you want to reach out to them and make sure it's legit too, especially a family member. You know, and look, you're going to want to say thank you anyway to your employer, your family member, right? So reach out to them first and ask them if they actually sent it to you. If they do, say thank you. If they said no, then good, you're good. You know, but be suspicious about activating gift cards that you weren't expecting. Who's with me? Let me know in the chat. And if you received anything like this too. All right, just updating the agenda here. All right, cool. We're going to take our quick 5-minute break soon, our second 5-minute break of the evening here once we hit 2 hours. We've been streaming live since 5:45 p.m. Eastern time, so we're about ready to hit our 2 hour right now, but we're going to be going for another hour, so still plenty of good stuff coming up. So still time to invite some people to this live stream, get the word out there, hit like if you haven't hit like yet. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow. You know, help us spread awareness about these scams. I'm trying to put something good out there and get the word out. We just live stream every week, help spread awareness of scams. Okay. All right, quick coffee break. Last one of the evening, and then we get back. We're going to continue the live stream, probably uninterrupted for the rest of the evening. We'll go for another hour or so. So still plenty of time to get the word out there, spread the word, hit that like button. Let's get some more people in here. We're going to be covering about 10 more scams, I think, coming up. And then we're going to check the ARP scam tracker map, which is fun. Maybe I'll switch it around, do that next. Maybe I'll get a little creative. I don't know. We'll see. Stick around. Maybe we'll get crazy in a few minutes. We'll come back. Let me think about it. But in the meantime, hit that like button. Let me know you're watching. And we're going to continue in about 5 minutes. We'll get back. All right. All right, everybody, welcome back. How we doing? I'm Jared with Scamware 101. Welcome to the live stream if you're just joining. Been live streaming since 5:45, so just hit 2 hours. 5:45 Eastern Time. We do this live stream every week to spread awareness of common scams that target individuals just like you, your friends, your loved ones. So you're at the right place if you want to learn about some scams to be aware of and not to become a victim. So as we go through the live stream, we've got about another hour left. So we got a bunch more scams that we're going to talk about here, a bunch of examples we're going to share with you, all good stuff. So let me know in the chat and in the comments if you've ever encountered these scams. We want to hear your stories. If you have any questions, ask us the questions in the chat, and we'll probably do our best to answer you here. So let us know you're watching. I'm not really paying attention to the viewer count, so I only know if you're here if you let us know in the chat and in the comments. So we're streaming live on Instagram, Facebook. We're over on YouTube, and we want to hear from you. So we're going to continue the live stream here. We're going to go over some more examples in a moment. I have some more good ones coming up here for you. But if you haven't joined our free mailing list yet, check out scamaware101.com and hit join mailing list. It's free to join. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips and some reminders when we're going live. All good stuff. And you can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Blue Sky, X, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So go follow, like, subscribe. We need all the help we can get. Help us spread awareness here. Don't forget to join the free mailing list, scamaware101.com. Oh, we also have super thanks and memberships enabled over on YouTube as well. So if you want to help out by throwing us a couple bucks, you get a membership over there and send us a super thanks. We have a YouTube store with some cool merchandise items. Some coffee cups and coffee mugs and water bottles, things like that. You can help support us over there by purchasing one of those. Make great stocking stuffers and gifts. Okay, well, let's talk about our next scam here. And again, as we go through these, let me know in the chat if you've encountered these. We want to hear from you. Don't be shy. Let us know any questions. I'll do my best to answer them. And this next scam we're going to talk about here, as we start our next batch of scams, Social Security impersonation scams. This one's important to be aware of, right? We're being targeted. We get emails, phone calls, text messages that impersonate Social Security. And a lot of times they'll claim that maybe there's a problem with your account, your benefits, right? Other times they might say you need to update your payment information, your banking information. Sometimes you'll get an email that impersonates Social Security, but it has a fake statement that installs a virus, right? So there's lots of scams, Social Security impersonation scams to be aware of. We're going to show you an example of an email scam to be aware of. But before we do that, I just want to make sure that you're aware that you need to watch out for these phone call impersonations too. It's extremely common for these scammers. They call you over the phone. They claim they're calling from Social Security. They might even know things about you. They might have your last four digits of Social Security number. They might already know things about you too, but it's a scammer. Right? So if somebody calls you up claiming to be from Social Security, be suspicious. Okay? But the example we're going to share is actually an email version of this scam. And I'm going to show you how it looks first on a phone, and then I'll show you how it looks on a computer. So here's the phone version of this scam email. That's impersonating Social Security. Right? On the phone, it's much harder to detect as a scam because you can't see the email address unless you actually click on it. Right? It just says Department of. Right? And then as you read it, it looks like it links to SSA.gov. It says, get your new information now. To see your statement, please download the file from, and it has a link to SSA.gov, or at least it looks like a link to SSA.gov. And it says, we hope you find your new statement useful and informative. Thank you for using the Social Security Administration services. All right. So you get this on your phone, and you might trick you into thinking it's actually from Social Security, but it's not. There's a scam trying to trick you into clicking that link. And it's a little easier to detect it on a regular computer because you look at it on a computer, the email, And right away, you could see the email address and the full name, and you could tell, okay, this isn't really from SSA.gov. It's from some email address. It's not even a U.S. email address. It's .co.ke, right? So that's red flag number one, that, wait a minute, this isn't from Social Security. The second indicator is, now you're on a computer, you hover your mouse over the link. You don't click it, but you hover over. You can see where it actually points to, and it doesn't point to SSA.gov. They're trying to hide where the link points to. It actually points to some website with random numbers and letters. All right, so it's a scam. That link, they're trying to make you think that's a link to SSA.gov. There's some kind of statement for you, but it's actually a scam. They're trying to get you to download a virus. All right, so it's a Social Security impersonation scam. So you need to watch out for phone calls, right? But you also need to watch out for emails like this. Let me know in the chat and comments if you've received any kind of scams like that, impersonating Social Security. Emails, phone calls, they're happening. I see Lewis over on Instagram. Or stopped in. I don't know if you're still there or not, but good to see you over on Instagram too. Next scams we're going to talk about are IRS scams, IRS impersonation. It's important to be aware of these all year round. Well, most of the year, surprisingly. And similar to Social Security impersonation scams, similar to that, these IRS impersonation scams, phone calls, emails, text messages, right? They target you in many different ways. They always have to be aware of and alert for any unsolicited communication claimed to be from the IRS, right? Sometimes they'll claim that you owe taxes and you got to pay immediately to avoid penalties. Other times, they might say that you have to update your bank information, get a refund. Okay, so the example I'm going to show you today is going to be a text message example, but you have to be alert for phone calls too, emails as well, any kind of communications claimed to be from the IRS. But this text message example here, this is actually from the IRS, this example, right, of a scam. It's of a scam. The IRS warned us of this scam this year, and they provided this example of a scam, this text message here. And you can see it starts off with the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. You're eligible to receive a $1,400 economic impact payment. Please provide your accurate personal information. We will deposit the amount into your bank account or email a paper check within 1 to 2 business days. And it has the link to the fake website here. Also, notice that red flag we talked about earlier at the bottom of the text where it says, please reply with yes, and then exit and reopen the text. Right? That's always a red flag. You see that instruction at the bottom here. But anyway, so this is an example of a text message that's impersonating the IRS. It's trying to trick you into clicking this link and then entering your banking information and other personal information. So don't fall for it, especially this specific text, right? The IRS told us straight up this year. They said there's no $1,400 economic impact payment. And if you get this text message, this is fake. They said they wouldn't be sending text messages like this even if there was, right? So don't trust these text messages claiming to be from the IRS, trying to get you to update banking information, or phone calls claiming that there's problems with your account. Don't trust it. And of course, when you're dealing with any of those calls, you have to ask for gift cards or cryptocurrency. They tell you to go purchase gift cards. 100% scam. I mean, it's a scam anyway, but that's 100% a scam. How are we all doing out there? Let me know if you've received those types of scams before. In the comments, in the chat. We're streaming live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. So hit that like button, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Help us spread awareness of these scams. You know, we release videos on our YouTube channel, but we also do this live stream every week to spread awareness. You join our free mailing list, scamaware101.com, and hit join mailing list. Next scam we're going to talk about here is tax forgiveness scams. We have a few phone calls we're going to play for you right now. But you need to watch out for these tax forgiveness scams long after tax season ends. Right? I finally stopped receiving phone calls about these, but that was only recently, up until maybe a month ago. So it's important to be aware of these tax forgiveness scams. Next thing you know, in a few months, it's going to be tax season again. So we're going to play a couple of these calls for you to be aware of here. And what they are is they're scammers, and they're saying, first of all, they try to scare you by saying you owe back taxes. You know, it's a recording. It's saying that to everybody. And then they say, but you got to if you reach out to us within a week, we could help you. So they try to rush you, saying that you got a week to get back to them. Right. And really, at the end of the day, if you get some kind of phone call like this, talk about tax forgiveness, reach out to an accountant directly if you're something you're interested in. You know, don't reply to these scammers and these unsolicited phone calls that you're receiving. And let's listen to a few of these phone calls right now. This first phone call is actually, you know, I give it credit because it sounds pretty realistic. It gives a good example of how scammers using AI now. So let's take a listen to this first phone call here.
Hi, this is Lindsay Carter from the Activation Department. Give me a call back at 833-850-2527. Our records indicate you have some back taxes owed. You're now eligible to apply for them to be forgiven with the Zero Tax Balance Program. Any back owed taxes can be enrolled to be forgiven through this program. But we do need to sign up this week. Just give me a call so we can start the process. It's really quick. And I'll keep your file open here. So my number is 833-850-2527. If you've already resolved this, call back and press 2 to be removed. Can't wait to speak with you. 2.
All right, so that was a good example of a tax forgiveness scam phone call. And, you know, there's a few red flags about that. Right off the bat, it says, you know, you owe us back taxes, right? And it's a recording, so it's saying it to everybody. But then it says, I have your file here on my desk. So it's trying to sound like a real person. But again, it's a recording. So there's two shady things right there happening. You know, it's trying to trick you into thinking it's a real person with a file on their desk. All right. And then right off the bat, they're saying you owe back taxes, whether you do or not, trying to scare you. And then they say, you got to call us back within a week. All right. So they're trying to rush you. All right. You got to call back within a week. Try to create this false sense of urgency. And they're all indicators of a scam. All right. So that was one, you know, they're saying tax forgiveness. But at the very least, they're going to steal your personal information when you call up. Right? They steal your payment details if you deal with them. They might even use your information to steal your tax return. Right? So don't trust random calls like that. I have another one that I'm going to play for you here. And this one's interesting. This one is funny because it tries to impersonate a real person on the other end. And it has these pauses. It asks these questions and it has these pauses because it wants you to think that there's someone on the end that's actually listening. So it's funny. So I'm going to play this for you, and you'll hear the pauses. And keep in mind, I'm not saying anything during the pauses. Like, I literally, the silence was, that's what the caller got. And but it still proceeded to, okay. And, you know, it impersonates a person. So, again, shady tactics used. And I'm going to play that for you right now. It's pretty funny. You'll hear the pauses. Yeah, an example of a tax forgiveness scam.
Hello?
Hello? I can hear you now. My name is Anthony. I'm actually one of the assistants to the director for the National Tax Relief Program. How you doing? Great. So listen, I've personally been tasked with reaching out to make sure you received information about a brand new federally approved program designed to help people who may be dealing with tax debt. It's called the Tax Dismissal Program. It's something that's helped thousands of people reduce or sometimes even completely eliminate what they owe to the IRS. Can I ask you, do you currently owe any back taxes at the moment? Okay. Do you have any unfiled tax years or any unpaid back balances? Okay, great. Let me get you this updated information. You're just going to hear a brief recording.
Okay, so this special program has been recently approved as of June 2025.
Right, and then it goes into recording. But you can see how the call starts off. They're trying to make you think you're dealing with a real person there. And you're not. It's a scam. Right, so shady tactics being used by these scammers. And just the fact that they're using the shady tactics, that should be enough alone to be like, I don't want to deal with these people. So that's just another example of tax forgiveness scam that's circulating. Those were two examples of two phone calls that circulate. They both try to scare you by saying, oh, you owe back taxes. All right. They both try to make you think you're talking to a real person. That's scams. Don't trust them. Got a couple more scams here to go over with you. And how we all doing this, Nathan? Let me know you're watching. Say hi over in the Facebook comments if you're there watching on Facebook. Say hi on Instagram. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't yet. The more likes we get, the more subscribers we get. All good stuff. We know we're spreading awareness about scams, all stuff you should be aware of, all stuff that it impacts you. It matters to you. These scammers, they target you just like everybody else, right? So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Join our free mailing list on scamware101.com. It's free to join. Go check that out. Make sure to follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. We're going to continue here. So this next scam, I've been calling it a discount gift card scam. I'm not sure what exactly to call this scam, but I actually have a second version to share with you this week because I received another version of this. So this is cool. I got a new version of this to share. And how this scam works is basically you get a phone call. And the two examples I'm going to show, they both impersonate Comcast, but really it could be any internet provider. I'm sure there's different versions out there circulating. But this one impersonates Comcast, and it says that your promotional discount, your 50% promotional discount expires today, right? So your bill's going to double, going to go up. And the call, they say to call the number, to find out more, right? They leave a number to call, right? But that's not Comcast's phone number. They're actually trying to trick you into calling a scammer, right? So they try to scare you. They make it sound like your Comcast bill's going to double. Call this number, talk about it. Right, so I've actually got two phone calls I'm going to play for you. And I'll tell you how the scam works after you listen to the phone call. I'll tell you what happens after you call them back. In fact, if you're listening to this, put in the chat or the comments what you think is going to happen if you call back the number that they leave of this type of scam. Here, all right, so I'm going to play it for you right now.
Hello. This voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity. Your current 50% discount on your monthly bill will expire by the end of the day. To maintain your reduced rate, call the number on your caller ID immediately. This is your final reminder to act. Call back now. Thank you.
All right, so there you go. What do you think happens if you call back that number? They said that your 50% discount expires today. Your 50% promotional Comcast discount expires, and the call back. Going once, going twice. Let me know in the chat what you think happens. I'm not sure how much of a delay there is, but I'm just going to tell you now. Maybe there's not probably too much of a delay. But anyway, so what happens? You call back that number. The scammer is going to impersonate Comcast, and what they're going to do is they're going to tell you, well, your 50% promotional discount expires today, but we have another promotion going on with Target, for example, right? So they might say, so if you go to Target and you purchase a $500 gift card from Target and you pay with that gift card, we'll give you the promotional rate and it goes towards your bill for the year, right? That's what they'll say. So they'll make the victim think, okay, I just got to go purchase a gift card, right? It's a gift card scam. They're making the victim think you're going to save 50% on your bill if you just pay with a Target gift card. That's how the scam works. So he goes and purchases a $50 gift card. He thinks he's providing it to Comcast. He's actually providing a $500 gift card. He thinks he's providing it to Comcast. He's actually providing a $500 gift card to a scammer. Now, what's interesting about this, I'm going to play that recording for you one more time. But then I'm going to play a second version that they also received. I received it this week. So here's that first version that we just listened to. And let me know in the chat in the comments if you've received this this call too, because it's circulating. So here's the first one.
Hello. This voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity. Your current 50% discount on your monthly bill will expire by the end of the day. To maintain your reduced rate, call the number on your caller ID immediately. This is your final reminder to act. Call back now. Thank you.
By the way, that was a big red flag when they say call back the number on caller ID. Right, I mentioned that earlier when we were talking, but I'm going to mention it again. When they say call back the number on caller ID and they don't leave a real number, that's always a red flag. So that's the first example. Let me play the second example of this scam. This is the new one. And they say very similar, but you can tell it's a different recording. It actually sounds a little bit more realistic. It almost sounds like they took the roboticness of this example and they upgraded it. Right? Because this example is actually probably like a month or two old, but this one's brand new. And it's like they upgraded it with AI. So let's take a listen to that one.
Hello. voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity. This is an urgent reminder that your 50% discount on monthly bill will disappear by midnight if we don't hear from you. Please call back up the number showing on your caller ID immediately to keep your savings. Thank you. To replay this message, press...
Right? So that's another example. Yeah, this first example.
Hello. This voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity.
It sounds a little bit more robotic, but then you have this newer example.
Hello. This voicemail is from Comcast Xfinity.
And it sounds a little bit more professional, a little less robotic. But anyway, they both say the same thing. They say your discounts get expire and to call back. They're trying to trick you into calling back the scammers. So don't fall for it. If you get a call like that, first of all, it's a scam. But if you're not sure, if anything, go call back Comcast directly. Don't go calling a phone number that they leave. Always verify through official channels if you're concerned something might be real. Who's with me? Let me know in the chat if you received any calls like that, any voicemails like that. They're starting to pick up. We're starting to see them more. So be aware of that one and don't fall for that one. Hey, Nigella, welcome to the live stream. Always good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Just in time for us to start going over some QR code scams here. Nigella, are you over on the West Coast? You usually join around 8 o'clock-ish. All right, we're going to continue with the scams here. This next scam we're going to talk about are free gift postcard QR code scams. Right, so these are actual free gift offers. You might receive them in your mailbox. You might see them on a flyer, and they're offering you a free gift. Right, within they have a QR code to scan. So basically, victims receive a physical postcard in mail offering a free gift. When the victim attempts to activate the free gift by scanning a QR code, malware is installed on their device or a fake website is opened to steal personal details. Right, you have to be careful with QR codes. They're becoming more common these days, and you can't really trust them in public, or if you weren't expecting them. They're the same thing as clicking links, right? So you don't want to go clicking on random links that you weren't expecting from untrusted people. Same thing goes for QR codes. And this is an example of what one of these postcards might look like. Offering you a free gift. They're offering you a pair of free wireless Bluetooth earbuds, which, by the way, that same product was what they were offering on a fake retail website. Right? So you see how these scammers, they know what items are trending and popular, and they work them into their scams. So they work them into this postcard, get it in the mail, offers you free wireless earbuds, and says, scan this QR code. All right, but you scan a QR code, you get taken to a fake website, and in this example, it says it's going to steal your personal information, your name, address, Amazon details, and your credit card details, it says. So watch out for QR codes offering you free gifts. And, in this example, I'm showing you an example of an actual postcard you might receive. But these QR codes are all over the place now. We're hearing about scammers. They'll include them as attachments to emails. They'll include them as attachments to text messages. They'll hang them in public. So these QR codes, they'll do website pop-ups. You get a pop-up from a website as a QR code to scan. Say, you won. Scan this code. All right, so they're all over the place. You have to be suspicious about QR codes, whether in public, online. Scammers are getting clever with them. All right, so watch out for any free gift offers that tell you to scan a QR code. Be suspicious of those. Next scam we're going to talk about are brushing scams. And you know what? I think I screwed up because last week I couldn't find the folder with my brushing scam files. I said I'd have it ready this week. I completely forgot. So let me see here. We might have to skip brushing scams. Let me check one other thing here. QR code. But I tell you what we can do. Over on our YouTube channel here, we have a video about brushing scams. So make sure to check out our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe. We have our videos here. Let's see. Here's our brushing scam video right here. Brushing scams and QR code scams.
Picture.
Yeah, I'm not going to play it here because you'll get the ad. I'm sure you're getting enough ads already. But anyway, QR code scams. You need to watch out for them. These brushing scams, how they work is the part you have to be nervous about is if you get some kind of package or envelope that has no return information on it, and sometimes it might even contain an item, like some kind of worthless item, like a ping pong ball or a keychain or sunflower seeds, right? Something that's not very expensive. You just get a random envelope or package in the mail, and it has a QR code to scan. Be suspicious, because that's known as a brushing scam, or a version of a brushing scam. And if you scan that QR code, it might install something malicious on your device. So again, we have a video about brushing scams, which also there's more to it. There's like reviews involved too and things like that. So go check out our video on brushing scams if you want to learn more about it. You usually start hearing about brushing scams during the holidays because it involves packages, and more packages are being sent and received. And so you'll probably start hearing about that one soon as the holidays get closer. But in the meantime, if you want to learn more about brushing scams, go check out that video. And if anything, the takeaway is if you get an unexpected letter or package that has a QR code, don't just scan the QR code, right? The QR code might install something malicious. Be careful with that. So let's continue talking about QR code scams here. So this next QR code scam that we're going to talk about are fake parking meters QR codes. All right, so this is an example of what scammers are doing with QR codes. They're taking stickers of their malicious QR code and they're placing them on top of legit ones. So people think they're scanning a legit QR code. They're actually scanning a malicious QR code. An example of that we've been warned about and see, and in this case we're being warned by the BBB about this one, is parking meters, right? You know how these parking meters, they have QR codes to scan now. They bring up the parking app and you pay through the app, right? Well, what these scammers are doing is they're placing their stickers on top of the QR codes. So you scan the QR code, you think you're paying the parking meter, you're actually paying the scammer. And then on top of it, you get a ticket because you didn't pay for parking. So enjoy that. But it's an example of how you need if you're going to scan these QR codes in public, you need to make sure that they don't look like they were tampered with. It doesn't look like they were placed on top of another QR code sticker. Look, the best thing about QR codes, the best QR code is one that you don't have to scan, right? That's the safest QR code. And what I mean by that is the QR code on my screen, for example, to donate, right? You don't have to scan the QR code. The URL, I listed it right there under it, scamaware101.com/donate, right? So if you want to donate, you go directly there, scamaware101.com/donate. You don't have to scan the QR code. You can trust it. It will take you to the same website, scamaware101.com/donate, but you don't have to. And that's my point. The safest QR code is one you don't have to scan. If you could just go directly to the website instead, you cut out the middleman. You know, it guarantees you won't be redirected to a website that you weren't supposed to. So that's how you should handle QR codes. And again, watch out for these parking meter scams where they place the QR code on top of the parking meter QR code. In fact, give me 1 second here because I'm just going to put that into its own folder for next week. In the meantime, hit that like button. If you haven't hit that like button yet, the follow button yet, subscribe button, hit that button. Let me know if you've encountered any of these scams that we're talking about here. All the scams, all the examples we're sharing this evening, they're all recent, all active, all circulating. So important to be aware of. And most recently, sticking with the theme of QR codes and parking, fake parking QR codes. Here's one for fake parking tickets, right? Whether it's a parking violation or some other type of ticket. These have been spotted. There's actual parking tickets that are being left, fake parking tickets, printed on paper, being left in people's windshield, right? And claiming you have a parking violation to pay. And here's an example of one. And we've seen these being reported across multiple cities. The one on my screen is an example of one impersonating Houston. And it has a QR code. It's covered in this. But if you scan the QR code, it takes you to a fake website that steals your payment details. This isn't a real parking violation. So it's a scam. It's just another example of a QR code scam they have to be aware of, alert for. Again, we see this reported across multiple cities. Houston was one of them. I know Denver was another one of them. So don't scan these QR codes on parking tickets. Go look at the official website for Houston, right, and check there. Let me know if you've encountered any of these. Just updating the agenda here. All right, cool. Yeah, so fake parking tickets. Watch out for those QR code scams. They're circulating. Again, let me know in the chat in the comments if you've encountered that type of scam. All the scams we're talking about tonight, they're all common scams. They're all circulating now, all important to be aware of. And again, our mission here at Scamaware 101 is to spread awareness of these scams. We release these videos on our YouTube channel. You can join our free mailing list here on scamaware101.com. We'll send you reminders about our live stream and some useful scam awareness tips, warnings about scams that are circulating. All right, so check that out. It's free to join. Scamaware101.com. Hit join mailing list. You can also follow us on your favorite social media: YouTube, Blue Sky X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram. All the likes, follows, subscribes, they really help. So hit that like button if you haven't yet, and help us spread awareness about these scams. Like, follow, subscribe, and let us know in the chat that you're watching. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Next batch of scams we're going to talk about here. Snail mail scams. We actually have 3 different snail mail scams. Well, technically, let's say 2.5. Because the first one that we're going to show you is actually from the same one as the last. And it's just a reminder, these free postcards. You get these postcards in the mail, snail mail, offering you a free gift. Don't trust it, whether it has a QR code or not. Right? Because that's the thing. A lot of these traditional mail scams, the internet came out, the mail scams became less popular, right? But now then QR codes came out, and it kind of put new breath into the life of the traditional mail scams, because now they just add QR codes to their letters. It makes it much easier to get a victim onto a fake website. So we've seen a resurgence of these postcard scams and these snail mail scams, because QR codes make it easier for scammers to circulate those. So watch out for any of these free gifts, whether it's got a QR code or not. You get a free gift offer that arrives to your mailbox. Be suspicious, don't trust it. But talking about snail mail scams, let's talk about inheritance scams. And just because I'm going to share the snail mail version of this scam with you, also be aware that there's email versions of inheritance scams too. Right? So an inheritance scam is when victims are contacted with claims of a large inheritance from an unknown relative. But to claim it, they must pay fees or provide personal details. Right? These scams exploit curiosity and greed to steal money and identity information. And here's a letter, actual physical letter. They could receive in the mail and impersonates a law office. There's letterhead, a logo, address at the top. Right? It's dated November 29th, right? So it's still less than a year old. So this is circulating. Right? It impersonates a law office. And it says, "Dear whoever, My apologies. The letter comes as a surprise. And basically what they're saying is they're a law office. Their client shares the same last name as you. They passed away 4 years ago. There's a $10.8 million inheritance, insurance policy. You're entitled to it, so just shares the same last name. Right? They're a law office, they're a law firm, and they can facilitate the whole thing for you. Right? $10.8 million. Woohoo, party, right? But what's going to happen is the scam, they're going to try to get you to pay fees or taxes on it before receiving any inheritance. And that's what they're going to try to steal from you. If you think about it, fees and taxes on a $10.8 million inheritance is a lot of money. So they could be making away with like $1 million, $2 million inheritance. But anyway, or fees, scam. And something that I want to point out here is on this letter, they mention this claim requires a high level of confidentiality. And it may take up to 30 business days, right? So there's that red flag asking for secrecy and confidentiality that we mentioned earlier. Right? Who are they to tell you? If you want to tell someone about inheritance, who are they to tell you to keep it confidential? Right? They just don't want you telling anybody because somebody might be like, hey, it's a scam. I heard about that one. And what's interesting about this letter, the snail mail letter, it was addressed. So the person's name it was addressed to was a real person. They had the name right? But then they made sure to make the last name of the relative match whoever it was addressed to. So this letter was sent out. They made sure that the person it was addressed to had the same last name as the supposed deceased client. We did a quick Google search about this letter. We found plenty of people reporting the exact same letter, right? And the text was identical, except they swap out the who it's addressed to and the last name. So you get a letter like this, don't trust it. People tend to trust snail mail more, right? Because they think, all right, it arrives direct to them. You can trust it more, but you have to be just as suspicious. So anyway, that's an inheritance scam. Snail mail version. And be aware of it and don't trust it if you get one. All right. Next scam we're going to talk about, the next snail mail scam. We did a video about this one too. Technically, it's called a secret survey check scam, but really what it is, it's a more familiar name, I think, is a mystery shopper scam. Right? You get this letter in the mail, and it claims you've been selected as a mystery shopper. But included with that letter is a check. Right? So the victim receives it, and they think, oh, wow, there's a check in hand. I've been selected as a mystery shopper. What do I need to do? Okay, I'm going to show you some examples of that in a moment. This is a mystery shopper scam. Uh-oh. In the chat, we got a report about Bennett here. Dave, if you're still around, Bennett has expensive taste. He loves his bacon. That's gone from Megan. That's funny. All right, so the secret shopper scam. I'm going to show you some examples of these letters you might receive. This first letter impersonates Walgreens and CVS. The package contains what you need to complete your first secret survey assignment. So have fun, make money, and help us improve global customer services. Kindly note that this letter includes a checklist with required steps to carry out this survey effortlessly. The payment in the envelope is a check for $2,480 to cover the cost of carrying out this survey. That is evaluation costs and your commission of $450. Right, so basically you get this letter in the mail and it's got the check already included. $2,480 right there. And it says all you got to do is you just got to go to you deposit the check and you go purchase 4 $500 gift cards from these stores. Right? Red flag, gift cards. It's a pretty clever way to trick you into purchasing gift cards. So they tell you to deposit this check for $2,480. Purchase $2,000 worth of gift cards. Keep the other $480 for yourself. Easy peasy, right? Boom. Easy $480, you think. Well, that's the scam. What happens is you deposit that check. You don't realize it's a bad check. Right? And then they say, please go and purchase these gift cards within 12 to 24 hours. So you run out there, you purchase these $2,000 worth of gift cards, you send them to the scammer. They say thank you. You think you're all done, you're good. All right. Well, what happens a day or two later, you get notified by the bank. The check was bad. Right now, that $2,000, that's missing from your account. The gift cards are gone. Scammer made off with them days ago. And the commission wasn't real, so it's not like you made $480. Right? And on top of it, not only are you $2,000 in the hole now, the bank's going to hit you with a fee for depositing a bad check. Right? And that's how this mystery shopper secret survey check scam works. So a lot of people, they receive a check and they think, wow, the check's in hand, I'm good. They don't realize you can deposit it, you can think everything's great. You don't realize that it's a bad check until a day or two later. But by then, the scammer makes off with those gift cards and you're beat. And there's a couple different variations of this scam circulating right now. This was one example of this letter. And what's interesting about this letter, the first example was, it impersonates Walgreens, CVS, and it instructs the victim to purchase Apple gift cards, Razer Gold gift cards, Nike gift cards, or Steam Wallet gift cards. So you can purchase a few different gift cards and it instructs the victim to go to either CVS or Walgreens. The second example of a letter, it also impersonates Walgreens and CVS. It works similar. This one included a check for $1,987, and it's instructing the victim to purchase 3 gift cards. All right, but in this version, the scammer only wants Apple gift cards. Unlike the other example where I'll take a few, this one only wants Apple gift cards. But you go to more stores. Instead of just going to Walgreens or CVS, this one lists a whole bunch of stores to go to. You can go to Walgreens, Best Buy, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, Family Dollar, Meijer, Kroger, Safeway, Dollar General, Walmart, Speedway, Albertsons. Right? This scammer doesn't care where you get the gift cards from, as long as they're Apple gift cards. But it works the same way. He tells you to deposit the check, and within 12 to 24 hours, purchase the gift cards. Keep the $400, whatever, or this one says $250 commission for yourself. Easy peasy, but when the check bounces 2 days later, you're beat. $1,500 is missing from your account, and the bank hits you with a fee. So I don't fall for that scam. It's a pretty clever snail mail scam. It comes with a check included, right in the mail. That doesn't mean you can trust it anymore. So anyway, some key points about that one. And by the way, we did a video, right? So go check out that video. We spent a little bit more time talking about the scam in the video. But some key takeaways about that scam, right? So scammers still use the postal service to target individuals with snail mail scams. Just because you receive a letter in the mail, it doesn't mean it can be trusted, right? You still have to be careful, go through official sources, confirm anything the letter says. Don't trust unsolicited letters that include a check and envelope. Even if it appears legitimate, it doesn't mean anything. You can't just trust it. And if you deposit at your bank, you risk getting hit with a fee if it bounces, right? So really, what you want to do is you want to reach out to the issuer of the check, whatever bank supposedly issues the check, and see if they'll confirm if the funds are actually there. And chances are they'll say no, or they'll say it's a bad check. But if you risk depositing it yourself, at least don't spend the funds until you're sure it's cleared, and it can take a couple days to clear. But chances are you're getting a check in the mail you weren't expecting from someone you don't know. It's a scam. Don't trust it. Another key takeaway: any request to purchase gift cards should be considered a red flag. Right? This one's a clever way to get you to request gift cards. Usually they're trying to get you to pay for something to purchase gift cards, but this is a clever way to get someone to purchase gift cards, by giving them a fake check. So it just shows that any mention of gift card, no matter how clever or unique the situation seems to be, gift card should be red flag. Because scammers love to receive gift cards, right? So if someone's asking you to buy gift cards, scammers. Make the association. And then just as kind of a side note, any job offer that you didn't apply for is a red flag, right? You get some random letter out of nowhere for a mystery shopper job that you didn't apply for as a check. Something's not right. Something's not legitimate. So be suspicious of any kind of letters you receive like that. And by the way, again, we did a video about this on our YouTube channel, and recently someone commented. There's been a couple of recent comments from people saying they received this letter. Same letter or similar letter with a check in the mail. So the scam's circulating. It's recent. It's active. Don't fall for it, and make sure your loved ones don't fall for it. That's it for snail mail scams. So that's it. We covered about 21 types of scams so far on the live stream. We've been live streaming since 5:45 p.m. Eastern. So I know some of you have been watching since the beginning. I know, Dave, you're still there. I always appreciate you, man. You always coming from the beginning here. And we got a little bit more to go. Nigel, you always join at around 8 o'clock for the West Coast. Appreciate you joining when you can. And we're going to keep on going here, though. But so far, we covered about 20 different types of scams. We went over 5 red flags. All useful information to be aware of. Protect yourself. Protect your loved ones from these scams. We showed you examples of them, emails, text messages. Played you some phone calls, showed you some snail mails and actual letters. So if you're just joining us, hey, make sure to sign up for our free mailing list here on scamaware101.com. It's free to join. Share our website, click join mailing list. Also follow us on your favorite social media platforms. We're on Blue Sky, X, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We're on them all. Except TikTok. We're banned from TikTok, but that's a story for another day. All right, so we're coming along here. We're going to go to about 9 o'clock, I'm thinking. So we still got about 30 minutes left. I wonder if it's too early to jump into our scam tracking map or not yet. I think I will. Maybe let's jump into scam tracker map and we'll see how it goes. And depending on how many people we got, maybe we'll keep on going. I got plenty of other stuff we could talk about too. So say hi in the chat. Say hi in the comments. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're watching. We're streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And right now, we're about ready to go to my favorite part of the live stream. It's the AARP Scam Tracker map. And this map is a fun resource. We actually have a link to it. So on scamaware101.com, you can click on Tools and Software. And we have some other useful links here too. They should check out some data breach lookup tools, some security software, some privacy software, some good stuff on this page. So definitely check it out. Maybe I'll talk about it a little bit more after ARP map. We'll see how we're looking with viewers at that time. But anyway, the last link on this page is the ARP scam tracking map. So we'll click that. We'll open it up. Now we're going to see reports coming in nationwide. There we go. So what's fun about this map is you can see what scam reports are coming in throughout the nation or locally. You can limit it local too. I like to take a look at this map, and this shows us, well, all these reports are from 10/7, so 2 days ago. So we can see what scams are being reported by people, and sometimes you get some details too, and you can see how like the scams are changing and get an idea of new ones that are popping up or old ones that are showing up again. And I like to go through these reports and see if the scams we discussed, if we covered them on the live stream, or if there's some other ones that are worth talking about here. So let's see what we got. So the first report here says identity theft. They called saying my social security number and name and address were used for drug and money laundering and previous addresses. Okay, so let's see what this says. Is this going to be a arrest warrant scam maybe? Let's see. Or banks. And they didn't give any more details. All right. So unfortunately, this report didn't give too many more details about it. This could have went a couple ways. This could have been like an arrest warrant type thing where it says, your information was used for money laundering and you got to pay this and that, or it could be more likely it's one of these fake investigations where they call you up and they say suspicious activity, drug and money laundering activity. You need to move your money around or transfer it to us. It probably would have went in that direction too. But anyway, the big red flag is some random person calls up and they start mentioning your social security and all this other stuff. Be suspicious. Yeah, I wish I gave more information about that one. Oh, well, let's see what the next report is. I answered a job ad on Facebook, which led to fake website copying another legit company website, Vero HR. Okay, good. Let's see some more details about this. We didn't talk much about employment scams. We touched on them briefly when we talked about the mystery shopper scam. They didn't give too much details either. All right, I answered a job ad on Facebook, which led to a fake website, Vero HR. This is a fake website. All right, well, all I can really say is, a lot of times you hear about these employment scams and job scams, you get these text messages, right? In this case, they say it was a Facebook ad. And it took them to a fake website that copied a legit website. So that's worth keeping in mind too, right? Always make sure the website on is the actual website. Received a phone call from a phone number saying his name was an attorney from New York working a tax relief grant Okay, let's see what this is. This sounds like one of those tax forgiveness scams that we talked about. All right, this guy gives a little bit more details. Saying his name, an attorney from New York working on a tax relief grant. He was going to 25% more on our social. That was going to 25% more every month. That was going to. I don't understand what he's saying here. More on our Social Security every month. That he was going to get $750 in brand new Mercedes car. I don't know. This guy's rambling. He was asking for all of our info, like parents' names, Social Security, bank numbers, 401 info. He wanted. I kept calling over and over all day. Okay, I can't really tell, but right away, if somebody's calling you up and offering you a Mercedes and all this other stuff, you know, it's a scam. Usually these reports are pretty clear. I don't know, these first three, I don't know, these reports aren't that great. Let's see what this fourth one says here. Usually have more to work with. I was messaged twice from the phone number 39146 with the message Bank of America transaction. Betano LLC attempted approve with yes, deny, or call to stop end. Oh, okay, so this is an interesting one. So this is one worth. So we have a bank impersonation scam here. And they received a text message and it's claiming to be Bank of America. They're claiming there was a purchase made. And then it says to deny, call this number. Right. And it's similar to the example we shared earlier, the bank impersonation scam here, which I'm going to bring up right now for those of you who weren't on for that one. Right, here's a text message of a bank impersonation scam. It's similar. This one says that TD bank card activity. Did you attempt a transaction at Walgreens? Reply yes or no. But this one is saying reply yes or call to deny. And what's interesting about this is it actually came from those short code numbers that we mentioned earlier. Remember, I told you when I was showing this scam example earlier, I said that what sticks out about this is from the bank, but it's not from a short digit code. Because if it was really from the bank, a lot of times it would be from a short code, not a phone number. Well, this one actually came from a short code, and it was a scam. So, just because it comes from a short code doesn't mean you can trust it either. It's a red flag when it doesn't, but it doesn't mean you can trust it. So anyway, this is a good example. Watch out for these text messages claiming to be from your bank. They claim a purchase was made, and they're trying to trick you into calling this number. We have a video on those fake order scams. You can check out our YouTube channel and learn more about the fake order scams and see some more examples of those. Dave in the chat or on YouTube says Mercedes usually involves the PCH scams. Dave, can you tell me a little bit more about the PCH scam? Which one that is, if you don't mind. In the meantime, let's check out some more of these reports. All right. It's still happening. Someone used my info or order from Apple. I do not have an account at Apple. The order going to New York. All right, so let's see. What this person going to say here? The order going to New York happened 3 times the last 5 months. Don't know how they pay. I watched my info. I called Apple. There were no help. Thank you for info. How do I stop this? I can't tell if this guy's actually having orders placed under his name or if he's just getting fake order notifications. I'm going to assume that they're Apple fake order notifications. Because we know, and one of the examples we showed you earlier was this fake order text message that claims to be from Apple, and they made a purchase for $143. But it's a scam. They're trying to trick you into calling the phone number. So that might be what's happening to this guy. Next report says they texted me and want me to send money via PayPal. Don't give any more information, so I'm not going to go to that. Holiday scams and fraud. During holidays, scam happened. Did they put anything else? It doesn't look like. Let's see if they put anything else. It doesn't look like it though. Yeah, during holidays, scam happened. All right. Wow, these are some terrible reports. Usually, last week each report was really good, but I don't know. These first 2 pages here are pretty junky so far. Let's say, got an email from Detail Hack Pump. They were pretending to be Lowe's and asking to do a survey. After a survey, they said, all right, let's see what this guy's reporting. After a survey, they said, I want a wagon for free, and all I had to do was to pay for shipping. That's a red flag, just pay for shipping, right? After I filled out the shipping size credit card info, I clicked on submit and realized it was a scam. Yeah. So it's a free prize offer and fake survey. You filled out the survey, but did they offer you the free prize. Yeah, watch out for any free prize offer, lottery winning. You have to be suspicious. Those free prizes and fake lottery scams are extremely common. Business imposter scam. Next report here. Call claiming to be Bank of America regarding urgent issue with credit card attempted vishing from. There's again more details. This was a bank impersonation scam. We talked about that earlier. Extremely common. Emails, phone calls, text messages. Need to watch out for all of them. Received an urgent voicemail. I need to call a specific number regarding a PlayStation purchase. There we go. So this one's still circulating. We played that phone call for you earlier when we were talking about the fake order notifications. I played the one where it says Walmart. Yeah, same exact call here, guys. Gets a call claimed to be from Walmart. A PlayStation was purchased. Call the number shown on my phone. Yeah, so there we go. That phone call I played you earlier. The fake order phone call. It's still circulating right now as reported by this person right here. In fact, I'll tell you what. I'm going to play that recording for you right now. In case you joined us late, I'm going to play it again right now. So we have an example of a phone call that this guy's reporting here. He's reporting a phone call claimed to be from Walmart and saying that a PlayStation was purchased. So that's this phone call right here.
We are trying to contact you concerning an unverified purchase of PlayStation 5 Special Edition bundled with Pulse 3D headset being ordered from your Walmart account for an amount of $859.50. If you did not authorize this transaction or wish to cancel, please press 1 or return our call on same number at your earliest convenience.
All right, so that's the exact scam. That this guy's reporting right here. And we covered that earlier on a live stream. So be aware of that one. It's still circulating as reported by this person. Let's see what scams we got next. Numerous calls from the same male person wanting to speak to my wife. Same guy keeps calling from... Yeah, what does he say? Let's see. Each time I speak to my wife, says he's from Experian and an application for credit has been attempted through her name. I keep blocking his numbers. He just spoofs another. He's Asians or Indian descent. Okay. Yeah. Watch out for these calls claiming to be credit agencies like Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. There's been a lot of breaches for some of those. So your information's out there. They already know things about you. They could be convincing. But this guy's doing the right thing by blocking him and hanging up. Even though they got to keep on calling. He's doing the right thing. Let me know in the comments, in the chat. Have you received any of these scams too? These are all recent reports coming in from people on the AARP scam tracker map. 2 days old. So, debt-related scam. Letter from NCC, which is a collection agency, for $11.30 with 75 fees. I have no idea why I owe $11.30. No. Skip that. It doesn't give enough details. Text message, Bank of America. Oh, and a second report of that same bank impersonation scam. Watch out for that. 2 people reported that one so far. Any text messages, any communications claiming to be from the bank, be suspicious of. Let's see, business imposter scam. The source advertised as an AI project that you would be able to work from home and contact other to sell product. All right, let's see. This is an employment scam, but let's see if they give any other details about it. Nope. Next one. They are buying or ordering, and when they about to pay, they ask for an email to send Zelle payment. Again, not any details. I wish. What I'm going to say about that is anybody that mentions Zelle that you're dealing with, it could be a red flag. You're dealing with a stranger and they start mentioning Zelle. I was hired by Impersonation and they sent me checks equaling $3,500 for training. The checks cleared and then, oh good, let's see what this is about. The checks cleared and then the job told me get money out for equipment. Then the next day the checks bounced and took my savings. My bank said they would not refund. I've been with the bank for years. I have no money and just, okay. So this is a good example, right? So a lot of times these employment scams and these job scams, One version of them is they make you think you got hired for a job. They say they're gonna send you money to purchase equipment, right? And usually the second part is that is they'll say purchase equipment and send it to us for onboarding, right? But what they're doing is they're sending you a bad check. They're trying to trick you into purchasing hardware, a laptop, for example, with that bad check, and send it to them. And then a couple days later, the check bounces, and like what happened to this guy, he's out $1,600 because he probably went and purchased a laptop, sent it to them, and then the $1,600 check bounces, and the bank won't do anything about it, right? So that's an important point there. A lot of these people that get scammed in this way, you never get the funds back. If a job is telling you to purchase equipment, that are sending you money, be suspicious. If you're getting hired anywhere, confirm that the company actually hired you. Like, go through the official website and check. There's a lot of employment scams out there. There's a good example though here. They send you a check. Don't be too quick to go buy equipment. I hear the job market's pretty rough right now too, so it's important right now to be aware of those scams. How we doing out there over on Facebook, on Instagram? Let me know you're watching. Say hi in the chat. We do this live stream every week. Spread awareness of common scams. We've been going since 5:45 p.m. Eastern time, so we just hit 3 hours. We're going 3 hours so far today. And we started off by covering 20 different types of scams, so if you're just joined, you missed a lot. But we're still going here. Went over some red flags to be aware of, showed you tons of examples. And right now, we're looking at some recent scam reports on the ARP scam tracker map. So these are all recent reports. They all came in from the past couple of days, and getting an idea what's going on out there. Oh, John gives a good suggestion here in the chat about one of the job scam when they send you that equipment, when they trick you into purchasing equipment and sending it. You should put some tracking software on the equipment. That'd be a good way to see where it goes. So let's see what these other scams are. Here we are. Notified that I'm the winner of Publishers Clearinghouse drawing. So look, we know this is a common scam. These lottery scams, a lot of time, they like to impersonate Publishers Clearinghouse because it's kind of a well-known name, right? So a lot of these lottery scams and these fake prize scams, they'll say, hey, Publishers Clearinghouse. Don't trust it. It's a common scam. And that's what this guy's warning us about here. So be aware of that lottery prize winner scam. They mentioned Publishers Clearinghouse. It's kind of a red flag. Here we are. I called what I thought was HP customer service. Okay, so this is a tech support scam, it looks like. Let's see what this person says. See if there's any new details about recent tech support scams. Oh, looks like a decent report here. I called what I thought was a HP customer service number. The person answering said they needed to check if it was a hardware or software problem. They used remote desktop to access my computer. They said they could issue a refund and had an on-screen refund request form, which asked for basic contact information, email, phone address, and it also asked for my bank. When questioned about that, they said that it was so they could process the refund. They then asked me to open up my online banking site so I could authorize the refund receipt. At that point, I hung up. She had already given a lot of details about herself, though. And you'll see what happens. I called what I thought was the HP customer service number. I wish she included how she found that number, because she could have got one of these fake order notifications and then it says call this number to dispute it. And that's what it sounds like, because they mentioned a refund. So that's probably what happened. She probably got a email or text message notification about a fake order and to call this number. She called. She got connected to the scammer. They followed the playbook. They asked to connect to her device, just like we mentioned earlier when we were talking about the red flags, right? We mentioned that those customer support scams, they say, hey, let me get onto your device, and that's what they did here. So important to be aware of that. And they stole a bunch of her information before she realized it was a scam. Oh, PCH Publisher Clearinghouse. Is that what you mean when you say PCH, Dave? I wasn't sure that's what you meant but yeah, Publisher Clearinghouse. Okay. Let me know if that's what you meant or if I'm just being dumb. All right, let's check out the next report here. Another so these job offer scams. Lots of reported job offer scams. Different ones too. Fake company trying to obtain bank account info. Let me see if you gave any other details. No. Right, offers job, but a fake company trying to obtain bank info. Phone number is. So it's probably a text message scam, job scam. Someone's reporting another number about a scam debt collector. Let's see what this one. Any other details? Yeah, not really. All right, next batch of scams here. This will be a last 5 or last 4 that we'll check. And again, let me know in the chat and the comments. We're streaming live on Instagram, Facebook. I see some viewers are in all of them. So let me know if you've encountered these scams. And share your stories, by the way. If you want to know about a scam or you have a question, let me know in the chat if you're just joining. We have the agenda that we follow here, but we're pretty much through it. So let me know what you want to talk about. Let me know what scams you're receiving. I want to hear your stories. And by the way, if you're just joining, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. We need the likes, we need the followers, we need the subscribers. It helps spread awareness about these scams. We're trying to put something good out there, and it really helps. So hit that like button, that follow button, the subscribe button. And our mission here is to spread awareness about these scams. And also join our free mailing list. It's on scamaware101.com here. All right, you click join mailing list right on our homepage there. But let's continue with these last 4.
There is nothing for me to resume.
Oh, my Amazon thought I was talking to. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. But anyway, all right. Here's the last 4 scam reports we're going to look at. Let's see if they're a good one. Caller saying he's a sheriff and wants information on a family relative. Hung up when I asked for a badge number. Well, that's interesting. Any more details? No. Okay. Well, look, we discussed the fake arrest warrant scams, right? Jury duty scams where they call you up impersonating a sheriff, local law enforcement. It's important to be warned that even if the caller ID shows the police department's phone number, the sheriff's department's phone number, it doesn't mean it actually is. We know that scammers manipulate the phone, the caller ID, and the phone numbers shown. And we know that they do it in that case. So in this person's case where they said a sheriff was calling about a family member or relative, then hung up, somebody's ever calling you, claim to be a sheriff regarding anything. Right? Hang up. Tell them, confirm who they're calling from, hang up. And if you think it's real, reach out directly through official channels. But we know that these scammers, they impersonate law enforcement. So don't get thrown off and scared because somebody calls you up claiming to be law enforcement. That's what the scammers hope happens. Let's look at the next report here. Call notifying me that Medicare card will no longer be valid and new card sent. Okay, good. This is worth talking about here. They don't give much details, but it is worth talking about. This is Medicare scam, healthcare scams. It's important for older folks to be aware of this too. So these Medicare scams, these scammers call up and they're trying to get your Medicare card number. Medicare, Medicaid, they're trying to get your card number, right? Because what they're going to do is they're going to try to file these false claims for equipment, right? And they're going to try to get reimbursed for this equipment that they never send or provide, or they're going to try to get reimbursed for equipment that they're going to turn around and just sell. But they need your Medicare number to do it. So this common thing they do is they call up, they claim to be from Medicare, they tell you they're going to give you a new number, they need to get your current number. It's a scam. Don't trust it. And the same goes for, they'll call up and they'll claim that they're from your doctor's office. And the caller ID will show your doctor's phone number on your caller ID, right? And they'll say they need that, your Medicare number, or need to confirm billing information. Don't trust it. Tell them, all right, let me hang up, I'll call you back. And call back your doctor directly. Look, doctor's offices, they deal with this all the time. They'll be impressed with you. If it really is your doctor calling, they'll be impressed with you if you say, let me hang up and call you back. All right, because they know that this scam's circulating, they hear about it all the time. So yeah, any unsolicited calls asking for Medicare, Medicaid, insurance, healthcare information from you, don't trust it. They'll claim to be your insurance company. They'll claim to be your doctor. They'll claim to be Medicare. You got to hang up and verify through official channels. You can't just trust the phone calls like that. We know there's scams. They're circulating. So be aware of those scams. Really, any unsolicited phone call, you can't trust it. You have to hang up and verify. All right, last 2 reports. Let's take a look at them here. Keep calling, asking for jobs while we are not even hired. Call almost. I have no idea what this means. I don't think they give any more details here. Yeah, keep calling and asking for jobs while we are not even hired. call. I have no idea what they're talking about. All right. Oh, well. Let's check out the next report. Real estate related scam. All right. This looks like a good one to wrap up on. Let's see what it says. The phone number is contacting multiple agents trying to get us to invest in crypto coin, but posing as a buyer with no intention of purchasing. Terrible report. No idea what that means. You have to be, look, if strangers, I don't care what the scenario is. If somebody you don't know, a stranger is trying to get you to purchase crypto, that's a red flag. Whatever the case, right? They're trying to get you to invest. Maybe they're trying to get you to invest in crypto, or telling you to pay something with crypto, or telling you to go to a Bitcoin ATM, make a deposit money into a Bitcoin ATM. Don't trust it. They're all red flags. We know scammers love to get paid in that way. And once you send them or purchase a crypto coin, right, you're not going to get those funds back. They're not going to get recovered. So just red flags all over the place when you hear anything about Bitcoin or crypto, from strangers. It'd be suspicious. Anyway, that's a good point to wrap up on the ARP scam tracker map, I think. How we all doing? See how our views are looking. See if we should keep on going. We've got some viewers. If it's worth continuing here. We're streaming live on Instagram and on YouTube and on Facebook. So I see some viewers on Facebook still. I'll keep going. Let me know in the comments on Facebook. If you're watching, you want me to keep going, we'll bust out some more scam examples and we'll find some more scam things to talk about here. In fact, we could talk more about the tools and software that's available to help protect yourself from scams and become more aware. So let me know in the comments if you're here and want me to keep going. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. These are all common scams and things to be aware of that target individuals. Just like you, me, your friends, family, your loved ones. All important to be aware of. So let me know you're watching. Hit that like button. Let me know you appreciate what we're doing here. I'll keep going. And also join our free mailing list. Scamware101.com. Free to join. We'll send you some useful scam awareness tips. Remind you when we're going live. It's on scamaware101.com. Hit join the mailing list. Hey, if you want to help out, a couple bucks too, we'll take it. You could go to scamaware101.com/donate. We also have a link down here, donate link. Donate directly to us. And we have memberships and super thanks enabled over on YouTube as well. We got a $5 super thanks from Dave today. Always appreciate you, Dave. Thank you again for that earlier. If anybody else wants to give us a super thanks and membership, we have them enabled over on YouTube as well. So check that out, and we appreciate it all. And don't forget to check out our YouTube store or our gift shop and merch shop here. You get yourself a Scamware 101 coffee mug, travel mug, some other items there. We got water bottles, mouse pads, some cool little useful items that you keep on your desk or give to a loved one to keep on their desk. As a reminder not to fall for scams. All good stuff here. Keep your coffee warm. I refilled over an hour ago. It's still warm. So check that out and help support our mission, spreading awareness of these scams. All right. So you know what? We're going to keep going for a few more minutes here. Let's see. You know what we're going to do next? And let me know in the chat. Let me know you're still here with us. We're going to talk about the tools and software section on our page here. Let me just update the agenda here. All right. So let's talk about the tools and software that we have available on our website here. It's scamaware101.com. And look, these are these useful tools and software. These are things that you could use to kind of keep one step ahead of these scammers. And these are all services offered by third-party providers, but we stand behind them. All right. So basically, you go to scamaware101.com and click tools and software. And this page, we compiled a whole bunch of links to a bunch of useful tools and software. Full disclosure, a couple of these we're affiliate with, and I'll let you know once we get to those. But let's talk about some of these tools and software that are available here and why you should check them out. Some are free too. A bunch of these links are all free. I mean, most of these are all free. But anyway, let's talk with the first 4 links here on our tools and software page. And again, scamware101.com and click tools and software. All right, the first 4 links are data breach lookup tools. And here's why these are important. All right. So scammers know things about you already. Unfortunately, they know a lot of your health information already. They know a lot of your banking information already. They know a lot of personal details about you, social security numbers, family members, where you've made purchases at. They know credit information about you because all these third-party data breaches. And what I mean by that is all these third-party services that you've used and you've provided your information to, they've been breached. Hospitals have been breached, meaning the bad guys have gotten in and stolen your personal information, right? Last year we've heard about huge data breaches at insurance companies like United Healthcare. There was a huge breach. Most of the country's health information was exposed, and we're talking about like the medications you used, the test results that you've had done, your pharmacy, your doctor, all the information that these doctors and the hospitals have on you has been exposed, or most people at least. There were breaches at a background company last year where most of the country's social security numbers were exposed. There were data breaches at car dealerships where your financing information was exposed. So you know what banks you use and things like that. So like there's so much information out there that these scammers already know about you, and they tailor their scams when they target you with that personal information to appear more believable. Like they'll say, I already know the last 4 digits of social security number, so I must be from your bank, right? Or I already know what car you purchased and what billing plan you were on, so I must be from the car dealership, you know. Or I already know your pharmacy name and what prescription you got, so I must be from your doctor's office, right? But no, all this information they've gotten from data breaches, right? So anyway, why am I talking about this? Why am I spending so much time talking about data breaches and how these scammers got your information? And well, these 4 links that we have here, they're data breach lookup tools. They'll actually look up, you put in your email address or your phone number, and some you could put both, and they'll actually look up which data breaches your phone number and your email address have been involved in, and it'll tell you what other information of yours was exposed by these data breaches. So really what you should do is everybody should take a moment, check out the first 4 links here, scamware101.com. It's on the tools and software page, right? And check out these first 4 links. Right? They're safe to enter your email address to. They're safe to enter your phone number into, and they're free. They'll come back and they return a report to you about your personal information and where it's been exposed and what's been exposed. Some of them will even give you logins of yours that have been exposed, which think about that for a minute. Your logins have been exposed. Your usernames and passwords, your email address, they have been exposed. So if you use that same password on other services, the scammers already have it. It's just a matter of time until they try it, right? So check it out. Enter your phone number, enter your email address, try out these four free lookup tools, right? Some of them will try to sell you identity monitoring afterwards, whatever. You don't have to purchase it. They still give you a report, right? So it's worth checking out. Each one, it gets more and more detailed I haven't ordered it in that way. Where to get more and more detailed. So by the time you hit privacy lock, the last one, it's giving you logins and passwords that have been exposed. It's a little scary, right? But it's important to know. You want to know what these scammers know about you. You want to know what information about you is out there. You definitely want to know if any passwords you currently use, if they're floating around out there, right? So take a minute and check out those first 4 links that we have here on our tools and software page. They're useful, and it's definitely important to know. The next section here we have is security and privacy software. And these are where we have, we're affiliates with a couple of these. We're affiliate with Nord and we're affiliate with Malwarebytes, right? So we have some links here, and we got approved as an affiliate. We just went and grabbed the best deals that we could find and put the links here. And at the time we have 56% off in NordPass with 3 extra months. And it ends up being like 2 years of NordPass premium. It ends up being like 2 years for like $100, something like that, I think. Let's check it out. I want to make sure the links still work too. Yeah, 100 was $37, 2 years for $37, right? So you should have a password manager. NordPass is a well-known, trusted, and good one. You always want to use different passwords across different accounts, and you keep a password manager to manage them all. So here's a link to NordPass. If you need a password manager, there you go. It's less than $40. It was $37, I think, right? You get for 2 years, $37. So use my link, and we get like a little bit of cut from that. Then we got a link to NordVPN, right? VPNs are good for just hiding your personal information, just making it harder to link things to you, right? Whether you're doing something bad or not, it's none of their business, right? And your IP addresses are being logged and used for advertising and linking you to other accounts. So having a VPN helps hide that a little bit more from you. It helps keep your personal information a little bit more secure. And we have a link here to NordVPN. Save 72%. Ends up being like a year. Was it? I think 2 years for like $100. Let's see. Two years. Give me a total here. This actually gives, so this gives you 2 years plus 3 months. So 27 months, right? $3 a month. I don't know. I gotta do the math in my head. 3 times 27, about $80. That come to? Did I do the math right? So for about $80, if I did the math right, you end up getting a NordVPN for 2 years. And depending on the version, they might include it now by default. They might even include the password manager, NordPass too. So check that out. Use my link. Save a big chunk of change there, and you can't beat that, right? And we have a link to Malwarebytes Premium, which is a real-time anti-malware protection. There's a free version, but it's not real-time. You have to run the scans manually. But the premium version, it gives you real-time protection. Well known. Anybody in the IT industry is pretty familiar with Malwarebytes. They're trusted in the industry and good. So if you need a premium anti-malware software, offering real-time protection, there you go, 25% off. If you're considering purchasing it, the link's on our site, 25% off. Then we have a couple links to some free pieces of software too. We got Malwarebytes Browser Guard. I'm using it right now. I have it installed on my browser. It's just a free browser extension. Blocks out ads and scams. It's not 100%, but it does block out ads, and I've been happy with it, and it's free, right? So we have a link there to Malwarebytes Browser Guard. Go check it out. Depending on whatever browser you have, you install a free extension, and it protects you from annoying ads. And then we got a link to Malwarebytes Free too. So we mentioned a premium version before. We got a link to the free version here. It's good to download on a computer. If it's running slow, it'll run a scan. It'll clean up any viruses, malware, detect any pop-ups that you might have going on there. And it's free, so go check that out. Also, on our online tools and resources, tools and software page, we have a section that links to some reverse image lookup tools. All right, so these are handy with romance scams, or when you're talking to strangers online. Maybe you meet them on a dating website. And what you do is you take their pictures, you can run them through these reverse image lookups. And it'll come back. It'll tell you if found the pictures anywhere else, meaning that the person you're talking to might have stole those pictures from somebody. It might not be them. Right? So we have a link to 3 different ones, right? And you would use all 3. Some pick up different results. So you want to use all 3 in that case. Free. They're free to use. We got a link to TinEye. Then we have a link to Bing and Google. Right? Bing and Google have reverse image lookups too. So it's pretty cool. You pop in an image, it'll come back, it'll tell you if found it anywhere. So let's say somebody is going on about how they met somebody on a dating website. They won't meet in person, but you're sending them money, and ask them to run their pictures through your reverse image lookup tools. Then we'll go to scamware101.com, check out the tools and software, and run their images through reverse image lookup. See if it's a scammer or it's detected as anywhere else. And then we have a few website lookup tools, website safety lookup tools here. And we got a link to Norton Safe Web and a link to Google Safe Browsing, a link to Virus Total, where you can just check. You can pop in a website and see if there's any negative reviews or reports about it, if it was detected as unsafe, if Virus Total comes back saying it's suspicious at all, or detected any malware or breaches. So that's just a way that you could. They're tools that you could add to your arsenal of tools. Nothing's 100%, but if you want to check how legit or how safe a website is, you add it to your arsenal of tools. These 3 links to look it up. And then we have a link to a couple scam tracking tools. We have the link to the BBB scam tracker tool. And we have a link to the AARP scam tracking map, which we just used before was the AARP scam tracking map. So they're fun scam tracking tools that you could use to see where scams are being reported, where the scams are coming from, which ones are becoming more popular and picking up, all right, as we just saw before. So that's all useful tools that we have here over on the tools and software page. Dave mentions, if picture was AI created, obviously reversed image won't work, which that's another good point with AI, right? Before, these scammers, they would just have the same image and they'd be circulating it, or they just steal an image, right? And a lot of times, this reverse image tools, they'll pick those up. But that's another example, though, with these AI, because the scammers using AI to generate the images, they can generate images that aren't necessarily anywhere else or won't get detected somewhere else. So it's just another way that scammers are using AI to become more convincing and trick you. But still worth running them through the reverse image lookup, just in case. And again, like I said, nothing's 100%. These are just tools that you need to add to your arsenal, and they'll help. But never gain full, you always have to stay suspicious, though. Yeah, so all those tools and links, they're all on our tools and software page. You're on scamaware101.com and then click tools and software. And look, make sure to do the data breach lookup tools. You're right to be suspicious about putting your phone number and email address in. I understand the suspicion about that, but they're 4 trustworthy sources. They've been used before, and I've used them. So definitely worth checking out. And I think that's about it for this evening. I think it's about time to start wrapping up this live stream. Last chance to ask in the chat, comment, questions. We're still streaming live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So if you have any questions or want to share some stories, any scams you've run into or been targeted with, let me know in the comments and in the chat here. We'll talk about it. In the meantime, thank you everybody again for joining the live stream and watching. We appreciate you. Please join the free mailing list on our website. Scamaware101.com is free to join. It's the best way for us to keep you updated with what's going on, remind you any changes to the live stream schedule, or let you know when we add new content. So again, it's free to join, scamaware101.com. If you want to help out financially, we'll take it. Scamaware101.com/donate. We also have a link down here. It says donate or support. We'll take it to the donate page. We also have memberships and super thanks enabled over on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube or you want to hop over to YouTube, we'll take a super thanks. Or if you want to sign up for a monthly membership, we have those available too. So help support what we're doing over here. Make sure to check out the YouTube store. We have our Scamaware merchandise here. There's some coffee mugs, travel mugs, some stickers, mouse pads, water bottles, all cool things to have that you could help support our mission here at Scamaware 101. Again, we do this live stream every week, every Thursday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. You can see the schedule here on our website. And again, you can join the free mailing list to get reminders. Yeah, we hope everybody that's watching tonight found it useful. Make sure to hit that like button if you find what we're doing here useful. Trying to put something good out there, so make sure to hit that like button, that follow button, that subscribe button. Hop on over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to share the videos with friends, family. Get the word out. You got still some people watching over on Facebook, so hey, don't be shy. Let me know you're watching. Share your stories. Let me know what scams you've been targeted with. We want to hear from you. Well, I think that's about it, everybody. It's almost about 9:15, so I went for about 3.5 hours. That's live stream, which is about right on point. Usually stay between 3 and 4 hours, so 3.5. There we go. Not too shabby. We covered about 20 different types of scams this evening. I think 21 to be exact, and we checked out quite a few reports on the AARP Scam Tracker map. Shared tons of examples with you, so if you missed it, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out our other videos. A lot of scams we discussed, we have separate videos for. Make sure to join the mailing list. Really, it does help. hit that like button, that follow, subscribe. We appreciate you. And that's about it, everybody. Until next time, have a great weekend. Again, I'm Jared with Scamware 101. Until next week, stay safe. Thanks again to everybody who joined. Thanks, Dave, for that super thanks. Always appreciate you, man. Appreciate that. Nigella, good to see you as always. John. Everybody, have a good one. And then bear with me as I get all these live streams shut down.